may be in a sling for 6 weeks. We don't know we don't know how significant your injuries are. And so even without, any racial bias or discrimination claim, you still may have a legitimate claim, but just based on the injuries.
Brandon, what you might want to do is go get checked out, even by your family physician, and say, hey, I was in this altercation. Here's what's happening. My shoulder hurts. What can we do to check it out? But that way it's documented by the doctor, and going forward in any kind of personal injury case, it's crucial to have documentation. And we're taking you at your word, your shoulder does hurt.
Yeah, it definitely hurts. Both of them, because the way I felt on both my elbows, and I think they both jammed up into my shoulder.
Here's what I want to do, Brandon. I appreciate you calling in, and I hope we helped you out. But more than that, we're going to give you Marco's number. I want you to talk to Marco. We already sent him over the videos, and at minimum, he's going to write a letter to whomever he's going to write a letter to, and that's probably going to handle this wannabe cop in his job. But he'll also talk to you about these injuries.
Look, we help people even when there's no case.
I know.
I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years.
You're no spring chicken, Marco.
Community, and what goes around comes around.
Yeah. No, you've been great with us. You're a great friend of the show, Marco.
Well, I appreciate that. And then Brandon, my number, I'll help him.
Yeah, and anything. Car accidents, slip and falls, some of the big ones Marco did. I'll never forget that rental one. When you rent a truck and you pull out that ramp, so you bring a dolly up like you're loading boxes and stuff, the hooks at the end came off. This guy rented a truck from either Ryder or U-Haul, whoever. Those hooks didn't work, came out, and that was that was multi-million-dollar one you won, didn't you, Marco?
Yeah, I tried that case down in Denver District Court. And Budget Rental rent a company wanted to give us $75,000.
And then you went to trial, and what did you get?
We had a $2.2 million verdict.
Yeah, imagine that, $75,000. I bet those guys are wishing they played ball when they knew Marco signed up. Anyhow, Marco, I appreciate it. Brandon, 1-800-ATTORNEY. I can't get any easier than that. 1-800-ATTORNEY. I have no idea how he got that number, but he's got it. 1-800-ATTORNEY, Brandon, and it's Marco Bendinelli Law. Marco, I appreciate it as always for coming on, man.
Anytime, Mark. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Hey, Brandon, give him a call right away, okay? And follow up with us, man. I'd love to know where this goes. Even if this guy gets canned, if you end up doing a personal injury suit, I would love to know what happened. All right, man?
All right, thank you. Appreciate you for putting this out there for me.
Yeah, you got it. And those people down there at venue, what was it, 38? I'm sorry.
38.
What is it?
38. Number 28.
Number 28. Boy, that's an odd name. Number 28. Real quick, Jim Janicelli. Jim, I am so glad you called in. Here's the deal, man. I had a guy named Steve call up probably about 45 minutes ago, and he says, how come everybody says there's a shortage on new cars? When I drive around down, Havana, down here are mile long of dealers and all this, I see an abundance of cars. I don't think it's real. So you own the largest, or not own, but you manage the largest Dodge dealership in the state, Colorado Springs Dodge. I'm going to hold you over the break, but in a nutshell, is there a shortage of new inventory?
In a word, yes.
Okay, hold on. I want to dive into that. If you can hold on. I was going to call you Marco. Jim, can you hold on?
Yeah. No.
Thanks, man. All right, I appreciate it. And then we're going to get to this Elitch Garden deal and then a trash problem from Colorado Springs. My name's Mark Major. We'll be right back on the Troubleshooter Network. So we have one Sheridan, right? Teased what?
That answer.
No, I didn't. I want to tease the reasoning behind it. Listen, you don't know how to tease, bro.
Hey,
I'm teaching teasing on Fridays.
You learned it from Suzanne. It just seems that, so this camera works freaking great in here. I'm going to have to get something and put it up right here.
You show up in search engines, and it's all free at getfoundfast.com. They want you to be.
Thank you for calling M&M Property Management. Your call may be recorded for quality control purposes. Please hold, and your call will be transferred.
Please hold. video again. Did you see the video?
No, I'll come over there. This is a follow-up from last week.
#1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
We appreciate your patience. Please continue to hold for the next available representative.
It's historic, and it's our effort to make another giant step toward ending child poverty in America. I think this will be one of the things the Vice President and I will be most proud of.
Jobless claims dropping to the lowest figures yet since the start of the pandemic. 360,000 Americans filed first-time claims last week, 26,000 fewer than the previous week. Today, Fed Chair Jerome Powell is back on Capitol Hill, this time briefing
We appreciate your patience. Please continue to hold for the next available representative.
You want to watch the video?
Did you pull up the good parts or what?
No, I just got to the beginning here. Carol. So this is the beginning. So there's that little guy right there. And this is what started. He's going here, and he shoves this guy here.
Oh.
And then the guy's got in his face.
He's like, don't touch me. Oh. Oh. Have you ever been pepper sprayed?
No. I love pepper spray. It's very spicy.
Yeah, he does. That dude thinks he's Mr. Badass. Did you even see this move?
Which one?
He goes like this, a security guard.
Oh. See, and the others are all cool. This guy is a cool security guard.
Yeah, well, he should have stopped the other security guy.
Yep.
The company says
go away.
I don't know, man. That's pretty fucked up.
Customers should stop using the products immediately. Alex Bechet.
You know what? Sometimes, even if this guy doesn't have a lot of damages, and I don't think he does. I mean, I don't know shit about his shoulder.
See, this is
that's
Brandon
some
right
bullshit,
there. This
man.
is Brandon right here. This guy.
He should be arrested. That's what I think.
Yeah, you're right, but no one called the cops right then and there. And you know what? I bet the cops wouldn't have arrested the security guard, you?
Well,
I mean, maybe now that they see the video.
Right.
Now,
But I mean, in the heat of the moment.
but they can see the video at the
and he's not looking. Now that's his friend there.
Now, why did he start up with that guy?
Like I say,
Did the security guard stop?
They both did it there, and now they're going at it.
You know what's funny is the other security guards and the employees let him get their phone and do everything. They knew that guy was in the wrong. Holy shit, that is a brouhaha, man.
But it did get. See, this is where he's hitting them. That's where it's hard to say.
That's true, fisticuffs, man. That was like a fucking fight.
Get H2O to start saving today.
What's the very first one where he's got like his phone out and the guy grabs it? Did you see that?
No, it's the other. There are three different
cameras.
This is the best camera.
Oh, I wonder what he said right there.
Something to the camera.
Workforce, overall economy, access to capital, and cost of living. Second overall in the workforce.
So here's what sucks. If he doesn't get arrested, this guy's just going to end up getting fired on unemployment. He's gonna be able to play video games.
Actually,
I think they should arrest the guy.
You know, like I say on that, and you can say that as far as cops, he did shove the guy. They should have just let it go, but he didn't need to fucking pepper spray him. But there's no doubt he's a wannabe.
This report is sponsored.
Did you find your phone?
Yeah, Suzanne found it.
Where was it?
I don't know. Probably in the office.
Normal heavy traffic, and in addition, there's an accident eastbound at Vasquez, backing up traffic solid to I-25. I-25, pretty normal through the metro area, a little slowing around 225 northbound.
So it's like these cameras don't work in the studio.
What do you mean?
I got this one here that wasn't working there, works perfect. This one.
Well, maybe what the issue is that right there.
Right. So I'm wondering if we're going to have to do something and put it right here.
Well, one thing we could do.
We don't want to make the...
That one's actually plugged into a wire that comes from this. That camera in there might be trying to connect to this that's in the office and not connecting to this one that's 10 feet away. This camera, I know, connects to this for one reason. There's a hard wire going from this into the camera. You follow? Yeah. Even though it's wireless, it's wired.
Right. So
what I think is happening is when we put one in here, it is connecting.
10 seconds.
It's connecting to the one in the office. But once again, once we run a hub into here,
right.
If they run a wire, we'll put a hub either up there or somewhere, and then we'll plug all the cameras directly into it. Then we can even have better resolution and everything. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Sheridan Auto Tech, Uncle Coven. I love this guy. You know what I love about Sheridan Auto Tech? Multiple locations. They can save you a ton of money compared to the dealerships as well. In fact, they can do anything the dealerships can do. In fact, I'd say they can do it better. Maintenance, electrical issues. They bought Lakewood Electric. They've got a shop on Colfax in Lakewood and Havana and Aurora. I use them personally. Honest, experienced in business over 20 years. SheridanAutotech.com. I thought you meant show starting. I totally spaced Sheridan. I'm thinking I got 10 seconds plus a minute intro.
But we could just get a stand and put it right here.
What's that?
Get a stand and put it right here. And let it go through the glass.
It still might try to connect to the one in there, though. I'm not exactly sure how this mesh works.
But, no, I don't think so. This one's fine. This one's fine. Right here.
Which one?
This one here. This one was the old one here.
Oh, it works fine? So if it's in here, it works fine. Right. I wonder if maybe some of the soundproofing because of the studio does something?
That could be.
But that one works?
Yeah.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
$200 million? Why am I saying that? That's how much this show has saved people in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refund services. If you're new to the show, if you've been ripped off, or just want to put a spotlight on some scumbag that's doing people wrong, this, my friend, is the show for you. 303 Martino's the phone number. 303-713-8255. We love what we do here. We have a vast array of different professionals and businesses on referralist.com that help us all the time. On top of that, we have Deputy Dan over here on our video, our YouTube, our Facebook. We have Suzanne, my beautiful wife, is our producer. We have Ant. We have Deputy Doc. We have Deputy Smarty Pants. We have Deputy Scott, or Deputy Dollar, we call him. He's an accountant by trade. We have doctors, we have accountants, we have everybody. You have any issues out there, we want to help. In fact, we're going to go to that Elitch Gardens call, but I got to finish up real quick with Jim Janicelli. We had a caller last hour that said, hey, all this chip shortage we hear of, I don't believe. Well, he didn't really say he didn't believe there was a shortage in chips. His point was there's no shortage in new car inventory because when he drives down past these dealerships, they seem to have an abundance of inventory. In fact, I think he was saying more than usual, and he says, my eyes don't lie. Jim Janicelli, he is the general manager of Colorado Springs Dodge, by the way, the largest Dodge dealer in Colorado. People come from Wyoming, New Mexico to do business with this guy. Jim, you answered the question in a nutshell. Yes, there is a shortage, but it seemed like you had a caveat as well.
Well, I don't want to say it's a caveat. The reality is, yes, there's a shortage, but all of us dealers, we have used cars, the new cars we have, we're doing the best we can. But to your guy's point, the caller, we're going to park our cars where you can see them from the street. So if you drive down and you see a dealership and it looks like he's full of cars, that's good. We want you to come and buy a car.
Yeah.
So if you get to a lot, the back lot's going to be empty, and it's just reality. We're just trying to market what we have.
Listen, I'll tell you how I knew your inventory was low, and I'm not kidding. I was talking to you. I was going to buy those 5 vans for this investment deal through Fluid. They can't even get vans anymore. They can't get the Ford Transit, and they can't get the Dodge. What's it called? The Sprinter, right?
The ProMaster.
ProMaster. They can't get them. They simply can't get them. I mean, I'm a cash buyer ready to buy them. Well, there isn't any.
Yeah.
And then the pricing.
The way it is right now.
How about pricing? I brought this up. I bought my daughter a new Kona probably about 3 months ago, tops, and it was $21,000 out the door. Really nice little all-wheel drive thing. But now my neighbor likes it so much, he's looking to getting his daughter one, and for the same trim, the same everything, they now want $27,000, and I'm talking about a Arapahoe Hyundai. But I mean, there must have been there must be a shortage because they're upping the price, supply and demand.
Yes, unfortunately, some models you're going to find that. It's just the reality. We're trying to avoid it, but sometimes we can't. I mean, and I say we. I'm not going to point a finger at that dealer without pointing at myself. Some of us have to do that with certain models. We try to avoid it, but it's just we're trying to keep the doors open and keep our people employed.
I love it. Now, you work, you're the general manager down there, but you work for Deal and Doug. How many dealerships does Deal and Doug own?
He's got about 9 right now.
And they're all different kinds. So the question is not just Dodge, because if Steve's listening, he's going to go, okay, well, maybe just Dodge. But in general, is there any brands that are, have more of a shortage on new vehicles than others? Or is it all brands across the line?
Yeah, I can't really speak to that, Mark. My understanding is all brands are suffering a shortage. Whether they're all suffering the same percentage of shortage,
who knows?
I'd be making that number up. Yeah, I really don't know.
Yeah, I know you're a Kia dealer. What is it? It's a Arapahoe Kia, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know they're down. I got a buddy, Brian Burns at Compass Insurance. He had to order a new Palisade. I mean, it's going to be 2 or 3 months. They simply don't have any. It's crazy.
It is. It's crazy. We're just hoping we can get through it this year and turn the page on the calendar, and a lot of things will change, hopefully.
Hey, last question, and it ties into what Steve said, then I promise I'm going to get to Larry in this Elitch call, but why such the increase on used vehicles? I mean, I use the example, I sold a car I bought in 18 brand new for $1,500 more about 3 months ago than what I paid for it new. What the hell is going on with used cars? I tied it into the the lack of inventory on new vehicles. Is that it?
It's almost 100%. Most of us get our used car inventory from trade-ins. Less new car inventory, less trade-ins. There it is. It's as simple as that.
That's it. Just supply and demand.
And then the other piece is rental cars. Rental car companies are dealing with less inventory. A lot of dealers get used car inventory from cars that come off rental. So all of the new car shortages are affecting used car inventories, which of course affect the price.
Jim Janicelli, I appreciate all the information and the candor on the entire industry. And by the way, folks, if you're buying a Dodge of any sort, you're not going to get a better price. You're not going to get a better deal. Colorado Springs Dodge, once again, the largest Dodge dealership in the state by far. Larry, what is going on with Elitch Gardens? Larry?
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. What is going on with Elitch's?
So apparently they put a restriction on the age group that can go, and I guess after a certain time, 3 p.m., anyone over the age of 16 has to be accompanied by an adult.
Wait, you must mean the opposite. Anybody under the age of 16?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, wait a minute. I thought I saw something maybe on the news about this. When did this come into effect?
So I heard about it at the beginning of this week, so I'm pretty sure it's something new. I know that when we signed up and purchased the tickets, those weren't part of the terms and conditions.
You know
he purchased season passes, and they're making the parents have buy entry tickets when they've purchased season passes for the kids, Mark.
Oh, this is insane. We used to do that every year, Suzanne. We would go down and we would buy tickets or these passes for our kids. In fact, some of them had food on them to where they actually get lunch while they're there.
Yep, I remember.
And they were under 15. They were 14 and 13 at the time. So Larry, how does this affect you? I assume you have a kid?
Yeah, we actually bought 3 different passes with the meal deal thing. I mean, the meal deal alone was over $100, and then another 80 for each season pass. So, I mean, the kids can't really use them now unless we...
Yeah, because we would used to drop our kids off there, and they'd have a great time, then we'd go pick them up.
Exactly. We did that for the whole half of the season, but I guess that's not an option at this point.
Now, are they offering refunds to people in your predicament?
We've asked, emailed, called, and we haven't had any response. I mean, I've been looking kind of on their Facebook page, and a lot of customers are running into the same issue where they.
You know what? I'd want a refund. I don't care what anybody says. My understanding, though, is Elitch's goes away after this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, from my understanding as well.
So, I mean, it's like they have nothing to lose. That's what really sucks about this. I mean, it really does. We need to reach out to Elitch's. You realize last year, COVID, where I don't think Elitch's was open at all, there were people calling us up that were having trouble getting refunds on a pass that was literally unusable.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, I'm sure I'm not the only parent that has an issue with it, so there's got to be a lot of different other people out there.
This sucks. Hey, let's do this. Larry, let's get all your information. I want to know, give Suzanne how many passes you bought when it comes to the kids, whatever, and what you're looking for. Because are you truly looking for a refund, or are you still going to use these? And I don't need that answer right now. And then, Dan, either you or Marty, let's try to get in touch with Elitch's. There's got to be some kind of somebody there that can explain something. And why did they change it? That's the other thing I'd like to know. Larry, do you know why they changed it?
So from my understanding, they've been having issues with underage kids as far as getting in trouble fighting.
Well, then you kick those kids out. You don't take every kid. You don't lump them in with every other kid. That's outrageous. All right, everybody hold tight. HOA problem. Oh, guess what? A towing company towed something in an apartment complex, I bet. I'm so sick of these guys. And then we have this Colorado Springs trash company issue. James, I promise you're going to be next. Deputy Dan, someone, let's try to get a hold of Elitch's and see what the hell's going on down there. I mean, you can't change it. You know what? I bet somewhere in their terms and conditions, it probably says they can change it. We're going to find out.
Yeah, we need a copy of the sales contract.
Hold on, guys.
Shopping for a new outfit, but when it comes to quality chicken, you want to spend the bucks to get the best crunch. Redbird's chicken is juicy, tender, and always full of mouth-watering flavor, all without using any antibiotics. That's why Denver's top restaurants serve it. So treat yourself to a quality meal like
right now.
Redbird chicken tonight. Find it at King Stores in City Market. Grill it, fry it, put it in parm. As long as you make it Redbird Farms.
All right, a little trivia. A 25-year bumper-to-bumper equipment warranty is included. A 25-year energy production guarantee. No money down, no cash out of pocket. You just start saving money. It's solar. And finally, a solar company we love. Genesis Solar, and here's the best part, it only takes 20 minutes. They do everything remotely. They have these satellites in the sky that look at your roof, can tell you how much solar power you get, how much energy, 20 minutes, and it's free. Call Genesis Solar right now, 720-667-4760, and these are systems you own, not lease. 720-667-4760. Now, we talk countertops all the time in cabinets, and we talk different companies, but you know who I love and you know who I decided to use? We used Mitch Florida at the Art of Granite. This guy can do anything you need done, from anything. You can do marble, you can do granite, any hard surface, any beautiful cabinet, new sinks. This guy can change that kitchen into a beautiful new look, and you're going to love it. Go to theartofgranite.com. That's theartofgranite.com. You know what I love about doing commercials is when I really have used the people. I used Jay Bretz and Excel Roofing not long ago at all. I love these guys. Jay came out after a hailstorm and after I had to get Paragon involved and my insurance company to actually pay, but I digress. Jay showed me this new product they got. It is a hail-proof roof. This isn't one of those asphalt singles that's class 4 and kind of helps. This thing is good up to about 2-inch diameter hail. It is unbelievable. We have had hailstorms since it's been installed. We have no issue. My insurance went down big time because of the kind of roofing. And guess what? I'm never going to have to pay for a deductible, and it's got a beautiful 20-plus year warranty. excelroofing.com. And you know what's really cool? You don't pay a cent until you're content. excelroofing.com.
Did he say that at the beginning of the season, Don? Did he say at the beginning of the
Dude,
season?
that was 2 minutes on the nuts.
Did he say at the beginning of the season they could just give
Yeah,
the kids?
yeah.
And then they changed it.
Right.
What do you think of that?
Well, it's definitely changed. I'd be pissed.
Are you calling? Yeah, especially if you kind of planned out different stuff for your kids.
It is interesting. Honda just said they're not buying back leases for any other cars.
What do you mean?
So if you have a lease now, right, and you buy back, you buy the car back for the residual value, you're getting a great deal because the residual value was set 1 or 2 or 3 years ago.
So they're no longer doing it unless if it's a Honda.
Right.
Got it.
Because the dealers are getting stuck paying, lower prices for cars that they could sell for a higher price. So it's exactly what Janicelli said. But that was a good time to cash in on your lease if you had one.
Yeah. I was thinking of really selling my Genesis, but the problem
what
is,
are you going to buy in its place?
well, we get another Genesis, but the GV80, which is a SUV,
Yeah.
but they still want top dollar for it.
Right.
So I might get top dollar, but then you spend top dollar.
Exactly. Well, that's what I always said about the housing market. Unless you're an investor, you buy high and sell high, or buy low and sell low.
Right now, the best thing you could do, I mean, very few people are in this, though. You sell here, you take the profit, then you move to fucking Texas or Kansas,
Right.
somewhere where the market is the opposite.
Well,
but who the fuck wants to do that?
Exactly.
There's a reason it's cheap to live in Oklahoma.
Yeah, because nobody wants to live there.
I think they give shit away free in the Panhandle.
Ask Brownie. That's where he's from.
For many men, divorce brings a bewildering sense of loss.
See, they told me that the townhouse I'm buying, Mark.
Yeah.
They stopped selling other units pre-construction because they don't know how high the price is going to be. They said it's going to be at least $25,000 more.
So you locked in?
What I paid. Oh yeah, I locked in a while ago. They said they don't want to sell them because they don't know how much it's going to cost to build them.
Plenty of sunshine for your Thursday. We'll see temperatures in the upper 80s with a few isolated storms by later on this afternoon. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burst.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford built the cars, trucks, and SUVs of the future for everyone. Built Ford Tough and built for America. Now get additional bonus cash on top of current offers when you build and order your Ford at your local Ford store today.
My house went on the market this morning. We already have 2 showings.
And insurance.
You go, Karen. By simply understanding and updating whether insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it. He tweets. Follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk stations on Twitter. Find us right now at 6:30.
What did they say then? Did you go talk to Elon? Yeah. Okay, it's going to tease us. All right.
All right, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. We want to hear from you. We want to help you. That's the bottom line. Watch it right now with these contractors running around. We have got some kind of uptick going on. Not really just outright theft like we've seen a lot in the past. In other words, you give someone $2,000 down for a deck, they're going to start next weekend, and you never see them again. But no, it's more like the work is very shoddy. It's not good. And then there becomes issues. The permits don't go through. There's other problems. You find out you wasted a lot of money. So make sure you're dealing with companies that are going to show up. They've been around for a while. They do come with other people that have had good experiences. Just don't go off of reviews alone. If you do, try to figure out who these people are and try to contact them. Ask the contractor for a list of projects that they've done close to you that you can go look at, go talk to. Or there's an easier way. referralist.com. Those guys have all been background checked, and we know all of them. We know virtually every company on there at some point. In fact, most of them have been in studio with us. All right, James has an issue in Colorado Springs. James, what is going on with the trash situation in Colorado Springs?
Oh, my father's trash. He's 87 years old, and my father's trash has not been picked up for the past 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
3 weeks, yes.
Who is the hauler?
It used to be Springs Waste System, but they were bought out by Waste Connection.
We've heard of
both numbers and got the same recording from both numbers.
You know, ironically enough, just yesterday, it wasn't in the Springs, but it was in a mountain community and then another one in Arvada. I think it was Evergreen, and then Arvada, Republic, hasn't picked up numerous times, which is, in Arvada, that's who you basically have to use, for lack of a better words of putting it, but they have a contract with the city, and they're having issues. I mean, the whole damn town. And then on top of that, this one in Evergreen happened to be Republic. Now you're calling us with this. What, have you talked to any human down there at all, James?
I did Tuesday afternoon about 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The gentleman said that, I can't remember his name, but he said that they would send someone out to pick up the trash, and nobody ever showed up. And he said there was nothing on the driver's log saying any reason why he hasn't picked up the trash.
They just simply didn't. So in other words, they couldn't tell you anything because they don't know according to them.
Right.
Well, that's a hell of a way to run a business. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, what's your gut feeling, Dano, on this? I constantly think it's a lack of labor.
Absolutely.
I don't know what else it could be, because it's not just one trash company.
Right.
Now, James, I happen to know an owner of a trash company down in Colorado Springs. Do you just need someone to pick up the existing trash? I realize going forward you need to get back to your service, but how can we help you right now? It sounds like these guys you're dealing with, Waste Connection, suck. I mean, they suck. They probably don't have enough employees. We're going to make a call. I'll have Dan call down there and see if he can get through to someone, but if they're telling you they're going to be there the next day and they never show, then they can't even tell you why. I mean, what do you say about a company like that? They're not any good.
Well, we went over there and changed companies to, let's say it's WM.
Okay. Waste Management. One thing I'll say about Waste Management, I think they're one of the highest priced trash companies out there. In fact, they are. But I always see them show up when they're supposed to, virtually every time. So I'll give them that, even if they are double and triple the cost. Who's the one we use now, Suzanne? I love those guys. Small company out of Parker. If you're in Parker, maybe Castle Rock, Elizabeth, Franktown, these guys, Little Dumpsters, right, babe? Is it Little Dumpsters? Little Dumpsters rocks. They're a great trash company. They're very small, but they're always there on time. If they did forget one week and I call, they come out and pick it up. I mean, they're an incredible company. So, John, hold on. Make sure we have your information. Did the new company come out? Are you looking for a refund from the other guys? How can we help you on that stuff?
Well, we are looking for a refund because we pay them a year in advance.
Yeah. So what do they owe you? Half a year? How much time are we talking?
Well, the past 3 weeks plus the rest of the year. And we have, like I told them, come and pick it up. Next week we got new trash cans coming in from the WM, and they're going to start picking up this trash on the 27th.
Got it.
Month.
All right. Well, Dan, you've got your marching orders, man. Basically, let's see if we can't get this guy a prorated refund. And if anybody out there is having other issues with Waste Connection, let us know. And let us know how this new company works out, man. I hate actually going off on some of these people when I know there's a labor shortage, but what drives me insane, just like the guy in Evergreen yesterday, they lie. They say, oh, we're going to come pick it up tomorrow. It's not that they don't say, hey, we don't have any employees. We're suffering. We can't find anybody. They say, oh, we'll be out tomorrow. Then they never show up.
Yeah. Well, my problem is I'm from Washington State. I'm down here to help him out a little bit, and then I got to go back home.
Got it.
And my sister's from Wyoming. So,
do you need all that? Is there a bunch of stuff there now that needs to be picked up?
Well, was it yesterday or the day before? I took out two pickup truckloads to the dump myself and had to pay for that.
I got it.
It's unhealthy for him.
Not only that, you should actually go after them. Dan, not only should he get his partial refund or prorated refund, the other thing he should get is whatever expense he just paid. I mean, that's insane. The only reason he had to rent and then pay for dumping is because these guys can't do their job. Hold tight, James. Hold on.
No problem. Do you need the number for Waste? I got the number right here for Waste Connection.
Yeah, well, Dan will get it off air. I'm not going to blow him up like that right now. But here's the deal, folks. Waste Connection, in my opinion, sucks. In fact, the one from yesterday sucks too, Republic. And the issue with them, once again, I understand there's a labor shortage, but don't tell people, hey, we're going to be there the next day. It makes no sense whatsoever. Now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, John's got a big issue with an HOA. And guess what? It's got to do with the tow truck. Here we go again.
You want to do QC or you want me to do it? You got QC and Get Found.
Yeah, can you go over and do it in there?
How you feeling, Tom?
Yeah. Oh, I'm feeling fine. Just yesterday, I had to sleep it off. General anesthesia kicked my ass. I always think I can get out and do something. But
no, I told you got to go home.
There's no way I'm going to do it there. I won't have the phone number. I don't got shit.
The Denver Rescue Mission.
Oh, you can log out of there. Okay, good.
And well, I spoke to Republic. They promised they'd get back to me. They never did. I'll call them again.
So I just need...
And I got the Helix Gardens thing too.
Dan, you want me to call Waste Connection? You busy?
Wanna? Go ahead.
I'll take it. I'll get the stuff.
Yeah, I got
Suzanne. Okay. You got the information?
I got their number, but I'm sure it's the same one. But you can check.
Yeah, we didn't get James's number, right?
I don't. Right, not James.
I'll go call.
Or his dad's number.
Yeah, I'll talk to James. I'll get it from Suzanne.
6,000 homeless kids.
I'm going to tell you when to hit my mic.
We realize the potential goes ignored, unnoticed, unseen. But it's not too late when you open your eyes. You open your heart. Learn more at denverunseen.org.
All right, check it out. Are you sick of those hot, sleepless nights? You sick of paying all that money to run your air conditioner? Here's what you want to check out. Quiet, cool, whole house fans. And they're exactly what they say. They're quiet, so they're not going to wake you up when you kick them on. And then on top of that, they'll cool off your entire house. Basically, how it works is simple. You go down and you have it installed. These guys come out, they do everything. When it's nice in that cool air in your basement or on your lower level in the morning, 60 degrees out, you turn this baby on. It sucks all that cool air from the bottom up to those hot upper stories. It cools off your entire house to the same temperature. Then you turn it off, and you're going to save a ton of money with this product. You have to check it out. And honestly, they're very friendly as far as pricing. There's a lot of different brands out there, but Quiet Cool is the ones we like. And once again, they're quiet and they'll cool you off. Here's the deal. Go to qccolorado.com. Easy enough, right? qccolorado.com or 303-800-3419. You know, one of the things we do to get referral lists out there so people understand what it is and how to use it, and when people Google different things like HVAC or furnace repair, referral list comes up, it's because of the fine folks at GetFoundFast.com. These guys will do a free webinar with you. They'll spend about 20 minutes face-to-face on a webinar showing you your current stats through Google and why you lack this and why your competition comes up first. It's free. It's the best thing out there. GetFoundFast.com. Okay. How was surgery?
It went smoothly, of course, and it was just the general anesthesia. Just getting sleep afterwards.
Does it hurt?
Did you leave your pad in the car?
And then the only reason I have the patch on, I don't have to leave it on, is because it confuses me without it, because I have that bubble in there.
What do you mean?
Well, they put gas.
Oh, you mean it fucks your
There's gas in your eye to hold it all together, and it looks like a giant fish eye. My eye looks like a giant fish eye.
And it just gets slowly absorbed against the place like fluid.
But it throws you like off balance and shit.
Right. Well, one eye is like this, one eye shows big fish eye, and one eye is regular. So I keep a patch on it. I mean, I don't have to keep it on there for any other reason other than that. That gas will be absorbed into my system. So the man, the guy is.
So there was a guy on Elitch's, talk about Elitch's, they changed the policy and I called them up, so.
How did they change policy?
If you have to be 16 or over to be by yourself now, right?
After 3 p.m.
Right. Below 16, you gotta be, accompanied by adult all the time. If you're 16 or 17, you can be there till 3 p.m. Then have to be with adult. And then,
Why did
Are they
go
doing
up?
refunds?
Aren't they closing
Yeah, so-
down completely
Next year.
what are they gonna do with all the equipment?
To sell
They'll
it.
sell it to other,
Sell it to Six Flags or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or are they just gonna move it somewhere else here?
I don't know.
No, I heard they weren't. Are they moving again?
That's
Dave, is my mouse over there, man?
So they are, apparently, at least she said, is they send an email that's kind of like a first come, first serve.
Of what?
If you want to get refunds.
Oh, so they are doing refunds.
Well,
What kind of?
Well, hold on. We'll do it for the season pass. That's the problem. People brought season passes. They dropped their kids off there for the day because we used to do it with our kids. Now they say, "Fuck you, you can't do it."
Oh, you can't drop your kids off.
Right.
No, they have
Why?
to be with the parent.
with an adult over 21.
Yeah.
21.
Now this guy writing to me about Genesis, Douglas,
I have no idea who that one is.
is this a new one?
Here, let me. What's his name?
You got it, Mark, or no, you
Douglas.
didn't? They sent it to the wrong email address, so you didn't get it.
No, that's a new one.
Okay, I'm gonna. What the hell is going on?
Send it to me.
All right.
The only one I've dealt with is from a year and a half ago, and I have now dealt with this guy a few times. And
Well,
I'm not
didn't
going to
you
say he's
there-
unreasonable.
Did you say there are new ones?
Well, this is one that he said I could never call him. It's because he never just sent that package.
Yeah, it's no fun.
I'm sending both of the. I'm forwarding it to you, Dan, and to you, Mark, just to see it.
Yeah. Okay.
There might be something going on here.
Well, I think it's the same as everything. The help. I mean, I don't know. I don't have that same feeling you do, though.
Tom has said we haven't dropped one time since we got the new thing. The new
Nope.
audio. We shit canned the Beatles and we're back on.
Tom Martino here,
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are fighting for you. And we're continuing to do that each and every day. Now, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255 is our number. Cindy, what's going on with you, Cindy? And by the way, I just, it sounds weird. Mark was doing the show, and then all of a sudden, here I am. I just wanted to say that I was late, and I had a doctor's appointment. All's well. Cindy, what's happening?
Well, I appreciate you taking my call. I want to give a shout-out to SOS Auto Inspections off your referral list.
Oh,
They
good. I'm
really
glad you had a
helped
good
out.
experience. What, did they check a car out for you?
Yes, we purchased a car on March 29th. SOS came out on April 1st, and then on April 2nd, according to their 5-day return policy, we went in to return the car.
Now, who did you return the car to?
Well, it was Auto Nation Jeep, but they didn't want to return it because it was the end of the month and the first of the month, or you know how they give you the runaround.
I didn't know that. So you have, I didn't realize you had a return. They told you had how many days to return it?
5 days.
And what did you buy there?
It was a 2016 Jeep Cherokee. I mean, we still have it. I have an issue with they were, I don't know.
When did you buy it? No, Cindy, when did you buy it, by the way?
March 29th, 2021.
And then you wanted to take it back, but then you ended up not taking it back.
Yeah, they agreed to the changes that we requested.
Oh, okay. So then you didn't have to bring it back. And that was because of SOS inspections.
Yes. Well, part of it was, that was about they agreed to repair the thing, and it was about $2,000, and they've done that.
Good.
But there were some charges on the receipt that we didn't like. For instance, they charged us for a $25 emissions fee, which that car does not need an emissions fee.
What do you mean it
And,
doesn't need an emissions?
7 years.
You mean it doesn't have to
new.
get checked for
It's
a while?
exempt.
Yeah, for what? How long?
Yeah, it's
7.
exempt.
All right. So why? So okay. How much? How many other charges? Is that what you're calling about? The charges?
Well, no, I just wanted to maybe tell you about that because they said, oh, that's our error. We charge everyone for that, and then we take it off if they don't need it.
That's weird.
Thinking,
all right. Did you get the 25 back?
How many have they done that to? But they eventually refunded us that. It took them about a month and a half and a couple of phone calls. But then they had also agreed, they did the repair they agreed to for about, and then they also had agreed to return 3 of the extended warranty, and they've only returned 2. And now they're saying it's going to be an in-house refund, and they don't know when it could be completed. And
so you wanted a refund on the extended warranty. Why?
Yes. Well, because we didn't need them. We didn't want them. What happened was when we were in the final where they were typing it up, she's like, oh, you really should have this. I'll put it in here, and it won't cost you any extra. And then
how much did they charge you for it?
Well, there were 3 of them, $3,878, which was refunded, $549, which has been refunded, and then the $899, which has not been refunded. So they're saying they're going to do an in-house refund on that.
But what are all these different charges?
Sorry, I can tell you. It was appearance protection is the $899.
Appearance protection. Appearance protection. What the hell is that?
Exactly. It's one of those optional accessories, and they're saying, well, it's not refundable.
What is appearance protection for $899?
I'm sure it's a clear coat kind of
Is that like a wax or something they're doing on your car?
Yes.
Some of these add-ons are ridiculous. $899 appearance protection. What was the other one?
Tire and wheel protection.
How much was that?
$549.
Come on. Well, what did they do for tire and wheel protection?
Well, that's why we told them we didn't want it, and she put it in.
But why did it get written in there to begin with is what I want to know. Didn't you see it when you went to buy a car?
Yeah, and we told them we didn't want it, and she's like, well, you really need it, I'll just put it in. So anyway, we were under the 5-day return. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But the other was the vehicle protection plan for $3,878.
For $3,800.
Yeah, and they've refunded everything but the $899.
Okay, good.
And that's my issue is like, how long should I wait before I really
You shouldn't wait. You shouldn't wait. Well, how long did they say it was going to be?
Oh gosh, I've had it all. I've had them all. They said it was going to be, well, I called in May and they said, oh, you have to fill out this form to get it refunded. So that was in May. So I did all that. And then by the end of June, the refund started coming in, and then they balked on this last one.
All right, why don't we just give them a call? When was the last time you talked to them?
This morning. But I want to thank you, too, because the finance manager, was all huffy, and I made him circle and initial this, and he was not happy.
Oh, good. Excellent.
That's what I'm holding on to. I'm like, no, you have to circle, initial, and date this, or I'm not leaving, and you're taking the car back. But they didn't. And then also the emissions fee, I'd like to kind of, that was the 2 things, if you could.
No, we will talk to him. Hold on a second.
Okay.
We'll talk to him.
And Sabrina is who I've been working with, and she's been really good, but they're avoiding my calls.
I think they're really waiting to see if you're good. I'm surprised you got all the other money. That's a really good thing that you at least got all the other money.
No, they had to. They had no choice. It's circled, initialed. I've been calling monthly since April.
That's really good.
And then they also found some kind of a fee that they refunded that we didn't even know about. It was called an excess license fee refund for $270. Because when I kept sending it back through their refund department, I guess they found this other excess license fee refund. How many other people have they charged that for? But unless you start screaming and yelling.
You know what? If you added up all the extra fees, this is what people need to know when they go to buy a car. If you add up all those extra fees, what did it come to? Like $4,000 or $5,000? I mean, think about that.
Yeah. Almost 6, and that's why the sales manager, I said, why is that guy so snarky?
Think
And
about
he's
that.
like,
How
well, you
much
just
was the
cost
car
him
itself?
$6,000.
How much was the car itself?
I think 19,000 is what it's going to end up being after all the refunds.
But it was
original paper we signed was $24,531.
And that was with all the add-ons. But the actual, do you know what the price of the vehicle was, for goodness sakes?
Geez, sorry. I'm looking.
No, seriously. I mean, people ought to know what they're buying.
Taxable subtotal. No, they don't really have the vehicle price.
So you don't even you don't even know the vehicle price. So you don't know if you're getting a good or bad deal. Did you literally buy a car without knowing how much you were paying for it?
I apologize. I couldn't see it. It's 15379.
No, wait.
15,379.
Wait, hold on a second. Mark, are you listening to this? The car was $15,000. And how much did the end deal end up being?
$24,531.
Yeah. Can you believe what you're hearing? The price of the vehicle was $15,000. Is that possible? Are you sure of that? You need to send that. What are you looking at right there? You need to send that to us. I mean, even
I'm looking at my retail purchase agreement.
Okay, will you please send that? I must have it. Honest to God, I must have it. This is the most egregious thing I've ever heard in my life. They packed that thing with 10.
We took it back.
My God, that was $10,000 on top of what you bought in fees. Please, Suze, make sure we get a copy of that contract. Please send it to us, Cindy. Do you have it where you can send it to us?
Well, I'd have to go to the library and fax it.
Oh my God, please. Listen, I promise you, if it costs you anything, I'll pay for it. Please get a copy.
Oh, no.
Suze, we need to get a copy of this contract. The car...
Hold on. That's unbelievable.
The vehicle was 15 and ended up being 25.
Do you remember what dealership it was? Auto Nation Jeep. Auto Nation Jeep. Use it.
Now, impact traffic.
Did you do any in-house, Mark?
No.
I didn't do a real CBD?
No. Unless you did when I wasn't in.
I thought I did a real CBD. I guess maybe not. That was the one I was going to do, though.
I did step out.
Right now on Jackson through Lakewood. Weather, a 30% chance for an isolated afternoon thunderstorm today. Look for a high of 86. Tonight's low 58, and for tomorrow, another chance for scattered rain with a high of 92. Currently, it's 80. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 6:30. Hey, how? West Sierra Credit Union is looking for people who are as excited about the future as they are. You are a mortgage loan officer, processor, or underwriter, talk to Westera. We're like a $1.8 billion startup, and you can help build it. Go to westeracu.com.
If you are in a traffic accident and get into injuries, the last thing you want to do is just start asking everyone what they think. You could end up losing your rights. The one thing I must say about injury and personal injury is you need professional advice from an attorney, a qualified attorney. John Fuller is that attorney. He will give free legal advice when you need it the most. If you're in an accident, don't just go ask friends and neighbors or a friend of a friend who hired an attorney for some other deal. Call a personal injury attorney for free advice. And if you decide to hire him, still no out of pocket. He will work on contingency, but there's no obligation for the advice. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. When it comes to investments, you have all kinds of promises. The important thing, what are you guaranteed? Well, I want to tell you about mymoneymyway.com. 2 different investments, and those investments are guaranteed. One is overfunding life insurance for a tax-free savings account you can use through your life and in retirement. The other one is a guaranteed pension for life. You actually put a lump sum down and buy yourself income or make monthly payments toward a future income. Both of those guaranteed.
To find out more, mymoneymyway.com.
Hey, Tom, Brad O'Brien.
Hey, Brad, how are you doing?
This is
What's
Dan.
going on? Brad, I remember meeting you way back before the pandemic. Nice to see you.
No, you've been in since, haven't you, Brad?
I've never been here before. Have a seat.
Oh, that's ironic.
Good to see you, man.
I swear he's been here
again.
before.
Deputy Doc sits here. He'll say hi to you when he gets here. He just helps us with the show. Okay, so...
Did you read this, Dano?
Yeah.
Is it worth a read or not?
Basically, he's saying, and he's got this. I mean, he did a lot because there's more.
Well, what's the gist of it?
Headphones to hear the show.
He's not happy with
On
the
when you're
contractor.
talking, off when you're not. You don't have to hold the button down, but push it down. But if you're not talking, just keep it off. You've got volume here and here for your headphones.
Oh, that's the same guy.
Same
guy. Maybe Mark does have an issue with this Connor guy.
Search the
Everyone
net.
has this.
Brad,
Not
it's
everyone
pretty
has
slow
one.
PC, but if you want to, you can.
You
Just
said that's
so you
your
know, we are on video during breaks and on the show. So anything you say is public, okay? Just want to be sure you know that. Got a water here. I'll be behind you, behind the glass here. If you need anything, wave me down. You don't have to touch your face to the mic. Just speak up and directly into it. Yeah, that's fine. You relax. You can bring it to you, whatever's more comfortable. And so here you go. Any questions?
How close are you feeling?
Not even, yeah, just like, yeah, I'm like this usually.
Right.
But you don't have to touch your face to it or anything like that. You can just adjust it how you want.
Hey, would you delete? I can't delete it on yours.
And then your headphones,
They
you'll
put
know when to
down
take them on and off with the
Blake's
guys.
old company.
During the breaks, you'll
So when
notice
I
that
see
Tom
it,
will
I just
kind-
fucking
everybody will be
put my
talking
eyes
and he'll shut
and
everybody
it always
down.
pulls it
so
up,
you do a
wrong
live.
fucking
So just be
phone
mindful of
numbers,
that as well, okay?
So can you either just rename
During
it
the
or
breaks,
delete it?
like right now we're
Even
on the
though I
break,
know what
all
to
of a
do,
sudden he might shut us all down so he could do a live read.
Well, when I pull
For
it up
you,
on yours.
or whoever, you know, whoever's schedules for the day, got it?
Yeah, there
Okay.
is, 'cause
So
I
not a
pull
big
it
deal,
up,
you
they
kind of
are.
know with the guys, it's not a big
telling
deal.
you, I'm looking
All
at mine right
have
now.
Donna
There's
come
no
in and
line.
check
Start typing in
Do you have a
my
couple of things for you? I'll give you a heads up on
You're
this.
picking up something from somewhere. It's not on my sheet here. It's not here. It's Blake Harris Law right there. Blake Harris Law. So I don't know what you're picking up. I thought it was thrown out. It's an old art. Let me see how it works.
Mine, this is what
No, I
comes up.
believe you. I think, but it's an old, like, where the fuck you get it?
And the reason...
Oh, recorded. You're picking up my recorded one. That's just what it says up there. Don't, yeah.
The only reason I do it is because I'm looking there and it says Mile High, because on every fucking log, it's still Mile
But
High.
don't you go into this live folder? Don't you have this folder?
I just use search. That's how I do it.
Okay. You know what? It's better if you use the link to
Let me
this
look
folder.
at it. Let me look at how you're talking.
Okay.
So just search for a live folder, right?
I shared this folder with you. I'm going to share it.
I'm sure you did, but hold on. It's called Live.
Yeah, but I have it. It's called, just let me give it to you.
All right, just go to Shared with me.
I'm going to share this with you. I'm
There's
going to
call
share
screener.
endorsements with you right now. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, but my point is it's probably here.
Maybe it's not here. I'm just going to send you the share again.
Okay. Source code, best ofs.
Just hold on, I'll get it for you. Get link. This was shared with you once before, but I'm going to give you the link again. Put the link somewhere. You'll always have the latest copy.
Just tell me where when you send it.
Okay, I'm going to send it by email to you.
I did a huge time on big packets. This guy spent a lot of time.
Yeah, it sounds like this guy Connor has got an issue, man. You know, the one on the fence, the ironic part is they love the fence, it looks great, and when he finally did start, it only took 1 day. Took 1 day.
Yeah.
And they're happy, but they're like, man, Connor
Okay, I
kept
just
saying
emailed
next day,
it.
next
See
day.
if that link works.
And that's the deal, people just...
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. That means you can get real, beautiful, wonderful, pure, the purest CBD products made right here in Golden, Colorado, from seed to stem. I mean, from seed to sale, no stem. From seed to sale of CBD in various forms. You can get that for 30% off using Tom and the promo code, and that is RealCBDThatWorks.com. RealCBDThatWorks.com. for pain, anxiety, anti-inflammation. RealCBDThatWorks.com. It's Panacea Life Sciences. Now, let's talk. I don't know if you've been listening to this deal, but Cindy bought a car, and she said the price of the car was $15,000. By the time she was done with her contract, their contract read $24,000. Do you understand? Can you believe this? Almost $10,000 more in fees. That's in appearance fees and tire. That's appearance protection and tire protection, tire and wheel protection, probably all the extended warranties, probably credit life, whatever. She went out of there paying almost as much for the add-ons as she did for the damn car. And I can't wait to get a copy of that contract. Make sure we get a copy of that. Are you talking to her off the air, Deputy Doc? Are you the one talking? All right, go ahead. You're going to wait until we get the contract?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you want me to talk to her before or after we get the contract.
You can talk to her right now. Her only issue right now
is getting a refund
of that $800.
$899. Okay, we can talk about that.
But I can't wait to see this deal, though.
Okay.
How does she pay $10,000 more than the car?
I can't wait to see it, but I will call right now and see if we get her refund back.
People, one of the biggest mistakes, one of the biggest problems we have when people buy cars are add-ons. Oh my God! It's one of the worst problems we've found.
It's not. I'll tell you what. The worst was a motorcycle. It was a brand new Harley Davidson. A guy that was back from Iraq for about a month. He was on not leave, but whatever. He was back here for a month. He spent $13,000 on the bike. You remember what the total was?
It was
$26,000. He literally spent double the purchase price. Now we got involved, and guess what? They gave all that money back on the flim-flam.
Now, listen, you might think, oh, it's got value. The dealers are going to be saying right now, Tom, don't say that. Everything's got value that we sell. They're so sadly inflated that everything that they add onto your car, everything, can be purchased separately cheaper, especially credit life. It's the worst life insurance you could ever have in your life, ever. Don't ever buy credit life. You can buy term insurance cheaper than credit life any day. Not only is credit life a bad deal, it goes down as the loan goes down, but you're paying the same premium. You're paying more for life insurance than you ever would anywhere else with credit life. Worst life insurance there is.
Did you ask Cindy by any chance if she had any negative equity rolled into this deal?
Oh, that's a good point. That could have been.
I'm dying to see the sales agreement.
Cindy, did you trade in a car?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I do have a negative equity of $4,500.
Well, that would,
and then they gave us $2,500 for the car we traded in. So
okay.
I don't know.
No, okay. So good. Well, that at least explains some of it. $4,500.
Yes.
Okay.
And then sales tax is going to be on there.
And sales tax. Well, that's why I want to look at the contract. That's why I can't wait to see this contract. But Suze, let Deputy Doc take her. Will you off the air, please? Thank you. We can let Cindy go and let Deputy Doc take her. Marty, you have an auto insurance question. What's going on with you, Marty?
Hi, Tom.
What's happening?
Quick. We have live in an HOA development. We have a security gate. The one through the security gate is the second car, and the security gate closed on the side of the car.
Wow.
Causing about $3,000 worth of damage.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean? Now, hold on. Did you say it closed on the second car? What do you mean?
One car went through in front of us, and we were the second car going through the exit, and it closed on the right side of the car.
But why did you go through aren't you supposed to go through one at a time?
No, it doesn't go. No, never had to do that before. You go through.
What community is this? What community is this?
It's an HOA in Aurora.
Okay.
So real quick. So the HOA, I go to the HOA, and this happened a couple weeks ago. So they finally came back to me and said, well, the way we determine it, put it through your comprehensive, and we'll pay your deductible.
Hold on a second. We'll come back to you, all right? Let's discuss this. Yeah, I do know gates where they let cars through. They're not supposed to close on a car no matter what because of the safety features. So I do think there's a fault there. Hang on. We'll come back to you.
Good thing he wasn't walking through. Pinned up, huh?
Can you ask Compass?
I
want to ask them how many
It was like May or
yes, I'm
something about finding in the HOA.
Yeah,
hey, how Bradley, it's good to see you. How's business been?
Extremely busy.
Good.
I'll bet.
Never even slowed down for the pandemic. I mean, really, pandemic drove real estate needs all across the board. People having to move and sell and whatever. And visit the websites.
So I just want to know, what are the documents do you want before closing? Because I've got a shitload of stuff.
Where are you right now?
Well,
are you under contract?
Yeah, I'm under contract, and won't be ready till about December.
Oh.
But in the meantime, I've gotten stuff about, like, all sorts of stuff from the builder as they go along. I don't know, do you want to just get the closing documents or all the intermediate stuff?
You won't have those now, but right now you have the contract, you'll have probably their draft limited warranty.
Right.
So all the contract documents, get them over to me, I'll look at them.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right, I'm going to go call Cindy to see if we can get her money back.
Do you need any water or anything?
You got to be able to.
Mark, did you use the link?
Just share it though. Don't link it. Because then
I did share it. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unshare it. I'm going to unshare it, then share it back with you.
Yeah.
I did share it with you, but you must have lost that. Here, let me do it.
The link works, but that means I have to find the link.
Yeah, but here's what I would do. You want me to put the link on?
No. If you right click, instead of sending me a link, just add me to it.
No, I'm going to
pop right up on mine.
I'm going to. Let me show you. I'm going to do this. If you look at shared, you'll find it in your shared folders already.
It's not though.
Okay, then I'll remove it. I'll remove it, and then I'm going to add you again.
That's If I go to shared, it's simply
okay. I'm just going to.
If I use the link, it works.
I'll do it again.
Tom?
Yes.
Oh, Cindy hung up. Can you just, on the air, just say Cindy, call back?
I mean, literally, as soon as you put her on hold, she was out.
I'm out.
I mean,
Run the library.
Okay. Here it is. Go ahead.
Yesterday you talked to Steve on the HOA commercial use, and then they amended the commercial use release, and then they sent him a violation letter, and you wanted me to send it all to Brad to get his opinion on that part of it, but I didn't. Oh, it was Mark. So Mark will explain this.
I don't remember it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you.
So Mark will need to. Do you want to explain to Brad so he knows?
The HOA voted that you could no longer rent out. So if people already were renting out their units, they could continue to rent them out.
Like VRBO?
Yeah.
B&B?
Yeah. Well, no. Long term. So they changed the rules. Okay. This guy owns it, and his daughter's in there. That's not the issue. So the daughter started renting out rooms, not the entire unit. And this guy's claiming the way the HOA wrote up the rules, that renting rooms is not part of it. Does that make sense?
So we just wanted a general opinion. This is the original, this is the amendment, and this is the violation letter. And I have them in queue.
He's basically saying, hey, they said we can't rent out the whole unit or else we'll get in trouble, $100 fine a day. But we're not doing that. My daughter does live there in that unit. She's just renting out some rooms. And the way he reads that, the way he reads the amended one, is that he's not breaking any rules.
And the thing is, she's a co-owner. He's a co-owner.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, the reality of it is, even if he's right, they're just going to reword it and change it again. But he did bring up an interesting situation. So what is your legal opinion? Is he breaking the rules by renting out rooms, not the entire unit? And then, Tom, you know how to recap that, I assume.
Do you know how long the rental is, like month to month, week to week?
You mean on
Is she on now?
She'll be up.
Okay, I wasn't listening.
You can ask her when we bring it up.
You'll recap it. They were renting. I mean, they were. They own a place in a place that changed the rules, right?
Yeah.
And so, what did they say to them? They can't rent.
They said you can't rent the unit out anymore.
Why do they feel they're not breaking the rules?
Because they're not renting the unit out.
Did you get caught in
They live there, but they're just renting rooms out.
So you must have looked like when you were 20. You probably looked like
the
you
way
were 12.
it's worded,
I've heard the second
there is an argument to be said. It's ambiguous.
Well, many HOAs, I wonder if it's in there, class how many unrelated people could be in a home.
Well, maybe they're married. Maybe in order to rent there, they get married.
She's a polygamist.
Sister wives.
She's a polygamist.
Hey, Tom, I was telling Brad, don't you think when he was 20, he probably got carded everywhere he went? He's got such a young face.
Yeah,
he does have a young face.
Me too. I am too. Very young face.
Yeah.
Like George's hands. Remember George's hands?
Oh. Well, didn't Who was it that got hired as a hand model?
George. But at the end, it was nothing but a claw.
Right. No, that was the other guy. What was his
Now, that would be a trivia question. Who was the hand model? I'm going to look it up. I bet Google will have it.
I'll bet you somebody on YouTube says it.
Who was hand model?
What is this
Big
mugging?
guy
Then
out
turned
there.
into claw. Just a claw.
I wish I brought my laptop so I could look up.
There it is. It pops right up, man. Unbelievable.
You can look up stuff
I
on
had stuff on my computer.
Locked into a deformed position. He was left with nothing but a
The insurance
claw.
companies.
Let's see what the guy's doing.
Comes out to be self-love.
Can we get Smarty, Mark? Oh, is Marty? No. Can we get Smarty when we call slow down things?
Nobody should have to pay for one
He-
size fits all insurance.
He wanders
See,
the world
my
searching
eye
for a
doesn't
cure.
work. You can't tell that my eyes
What was
fucked up,
his
can
name?
you?
Kaminsky or...
So inside, Dan,
Yeah.
doesn't my eye look normal?
Yeah. It's a little...
But to me, there's a gas bubble inside.
Well, yeah, but it's different from looking out than looking in.
Yeah, obviously, but
I like the patch.
Ray,
the reason I
Ray
honest
Kaminsky or...
Ray McKigney. Ray McKigney.
All he needs is the parrot.
He had the most
Put him on
exquisite
YouTube.
hands ever. Tragic story, I'm afraid. He could have had any woman in the world.
Did you ever watch that
None
series Black
could
Sail?
match the beauty.
Oh, you want to watch
What is
that?
it about?
It's about pirates in the Caribbean. It's really fun.
It became his only
real
true
pirates.
love.
It's like a
So,
five,
why,
I think
okay,
it's
this
also
is
like
like
5 or 6 seasons.
why did George say
Really
that
good.
wouldn't happen?
Black Sail.
Oh, because he won a contract.
Story about pirates back in the day.
But did he?
He lied.
You lie.
Why did he lie?
Because he's a liar.
Because I'm a liar, Terry. That's the best answer.
Hey, Mark,
Why'd
did
you
you-
lie? Because I'm a liar.
Mark, did you ever watch Black Sail?
What's that about?
It's about pirates back in the pirate
No.
days.
No, I'm not big on timepieces per se.
This
You
is
know what?
great.
Some of my life.
I'm going back and watching every single Star Trek from beginning to end, all
Really?
6 series.
You mean the original?
No, all of them.
The original only had like, I think 2 seasons.
No, it had more.
No, I don't think so.
But Mark,
Let me look.
let me tell you what I did. I'm watching them chronologically, not when they were made. Do you know what that means chronologically?
Yeah.
Like start date.
Just like Star Wars, you
Yeah.
can do that.
So I went back and did it, and it's really cool when you do it that way because they've done their prequels before they did their main series. Main Star Trek was on forever.
I think the next
No,
generation-
I don't think so, man. I think you're going to be shocked.
I
3
think-
seasons.
Did you think that Captain
Wait,
Picard
Captain
was
Kirk was on 3 seasons.
And it made all of that.
It went from 1966 and it was over in 69.
Okay,
Really?
how many
Starts out in
episodes?
79.
How many episodes?
79.
Well, that's a lot of episodes. They
I
don't
don't
do that many anymore. Not for each
Seinfeld's
season.
20 to 30 a season.
9 years.
What
Not
is?
20, not 20, 30, no.
Look, right here, dude.
Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. We're talking about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We have a guest this hour, and he can stay maybe for the rest of the show. Here's Brad O'Brien, O'Brien Legal Services for real estate. Real estate is brisk. He said it didn't even slow down for the pandemic. It's wild and crazy. But first, we got a couple things lingering I want to take. First, I want to get this comment on Cindy. Cindy called, and she made a common mistake many people make. She buys a car, she rolls negative equity into the deal, plus add-ons. So a $15,000 car went, her contract read $24,000. Dave's got a quick comment on this. And by the way, if you're listening, Cindy, we are looking to get you back so we can help or get you that refund. You had hung up after we put you on hold. We don't have your number, Cindy. Please call us back, and we will get you a helper. That's 303-MARTINO you can call. That's 303-627-8466. Dave, what is your comment on Cindy's call?
Hey, Tom. Hope you are well.
Thank you.
This is Dave that was in Connecticut. Now I'm in Florida. Moved back down here in October. And
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Florida's a pretty nice place. What part?
Cape Coral, Fort Myers.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice area. I lived there at one time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great area. We're enjoying it. But with Cindy's story, my girlfriend's son came down over Thanksgiving, after we moved down here and totaled her car. So we had to go out and buy her another car.
Yeah.
And we went to Fort Myers Honda, and she picked out a used car, and it was about $12,000. And then we go into the finance guy, and he does all his numbers, and he turns this little table around, and he goes, okay, here's the packages. And they were trying to tack on all of these things that they just sold Cindy. And this $12,000 car ended up going to cost her $24,000.
Can you believe that? What are some of the things they added on?
It was all these packages for car warranties. They were all warranty packages, and they had like 5 different ones. And I looked at them and I said, do I look stupid to you? Because I'm not going to pay $24,000 for a $12,000 car. And I said, we'll just go get a loan, and we'll come back and buy the car. And he said, we don't accept outside financing.
What?
Said,
well, they can't do that.
What?
That's a no-no in this state.
Yeah.
Nor can they make it contingent on buying any of that mop and glow.
That's right.
I called Florida. I called several agencies in Florida, and the answer I got was, if that's the way they want to do it, they can do it.
Well,
and I was shocked.
No, I mean they can. They can't do it here. That's restraint of trade. But if they want to sell under one condition, that you have only their financing, that's crazy. This place is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Really. And it almost sounds like these dealers. This is a new trick in their book.
Well, no. It's long been that way. For example, I bought a car for my daughter, and I was going to get a $2,000 discount if I used their financing. They were right up front about it. So I simply used the financing and then paid it off. And anybody can do that, but I didn't want to screw the dealership. So here's what I asked him. I said, how long do I have to keep the loan for you to get your spiffs? And they said 4 months. So I agreed to do that. But they shouldn't say you must have dealer financing or you must buy these things. That's wrong. That's totally wrong.
Yeah, and this dealer said, we don't take any outside financing. The only way that you would be able to buy it is with actual cash.
That's crazy, Dave. That's crazy. I'm sorry I have to move on because I have my guests and all that. And I did want to ask. I do have one other thing before we get to our guest, Marty. And by the way, we'll take all of your calls, real estate related or not. 303-713-TALK. Marty said a gate closed on his vehicle at an HOA community. Now we have a gate that I go through, and it has a little light that it senses your tag to make sure you can get in. But once that opens, any car can follow right behind it. It has a safety thing. It won't close on your car. And what I'd like to know is, has this happened before, Marty?
The answer is yes, and the HOA kind of admits to that. So here's my thing, and then they fixed it. They were fixing the sensor on the outside.
Good.
So that kind of got taken care of. My question at this point is, on repairing the car, my going through my insurance, number one, is going through comprehensive, correct? And number two, how much of a ding does that put on my insurance?
That's exactly why we have Compass Insurance on, to answer that question. Jeremy is with Compass. First of all, Jeremy, if I'm going through the gate at my subdivision and it closes, or at the airport or anywhere, and it closes on my car, will my car insurance cover that?
They will. Yeah, that would be covered.
Is it under comprehensive?
That's where it gets a little tricky. So if it closed and it shouldn't have been closing on you, I can make an argument for that to be comprehensive, but in the technical definition of it, it is collision. So I think it's a little bit more muddy than just a simple yes, it's
okay. My question for you, Jeremy, if this happened to him and they pay his deductible and he puts it through his insurance, I mean, that's still making him whole, but will that be a chargeable accident against his record, thereby raising his rates possibly or causing a surcharge?
If it does go in as comprehensive, they pay it out as comprehensive, it would not affect his rates. I mean, with the vast majority of companies, there are a couple out there that charge for comp claims, but as a whole, no, it would not affect them. What gets tricky on it is if it's a collision claim, whose fault is it? Because if the gate malfunctioned and it's not his fault, then no, it would not be chargeable. If he ran into the gate and should have stopped or something like that,
I would say it's
be chargeable.
It sounds comprehensive to me. The gate fell on him. It's comprehensive. The gate fell on him. Right, Marty?
Right.
That's correct. And my insurance is with auto owners through Compass.
Hey, Marty, listen. It's Encompass, your insurance company?
Yeah, through auto owners, yes.
What do you think, Jeremy? That's a good company, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Auto Owners is great. I've had my parents with them for about 12 years.
You guys had me with them for a while.
With them.
So, Marty?
Yeah, I think
I would take that settlement. If they want to pay my deductible, I'd do it.
Because suing the HOA is ridiculous. I mean, that ain't going to happen. So it's either doing that or not doing anything.
Well, no, you can do that.
Well, no.
And
auto owners will decide if they want to subrogate. If they feel that the HOA is responsible, let auto owners make that determination. They'll know if they have luck getting the money back. If they're not going to have success with it, you're probably not getting on your own.
Yeah, and by the way,
so if they're covering your deductible, and it is a comp claim.
Yeah.
I don't see too much harm in that.
I think that's the way to go. Jeremy, thank you. So comp claims are not chargeable for most companies.
Correct.
Okay. And I think the gate falling on him is comp. If he ran into the gate because he expected it to open, that would be collision. That's what I'm thinking.
I would probably agree with that. Right. That sounds about right.
And by the way, for your free insurance checkup at any time, call Compass. Seriously. They do a free insurance checkup, which will let you know if you can save money free of charge. That's 303-996-9000.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you...
Mind if I do that? Okay, I'll do that. So then you'll know when I'm done with my spot. Yeah.
Hey, Tom, you ever hear of this guy? Oh.
Yeah. If you could, that one before where it was the one with the car, the guy in Florida that went to Fort Myers, just that one. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. All you have to do is call them. Why do I call them Ideal? What's the name of the company? But there's another reason. They are ideal. They have an interest rate guarantee. No one else does. If rates go down, even slightly over 2 years, they will refinance you free of charge. And every time they refinance you, you get another 2 years. Not only that, you can pick your own term. You don't have to reclock back to 15 or 30. Pick whatever date you want or whatever term you want, and that's what you get. Ideal Home Loans also has credit optimization. Talk about Ideal. The credit optimization is where they take your credit and tweak it if they can to get you better pricing. This is a local company formed in Colorado for Colorado with Brent Eisen still at the helm. Let me tell you something else about Ideal. They will do free second looks of your loan if you don't like where it's going because you're not tied to your current lender until you close. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
You know, there's deals and there's screaming deals. Listen to this, I'm kidding. This is also from a company that's been on our referral list for years and years. It's a great home service company, 888 Heating. You get a new air conditioner, you get a new furnace, a whole home humidifier, 5 years, yes, 5 years to pay with zero interest, all starting at $8,500. You need to take advantage of it now. 888heating.com or call them at 888-HEATING.
Did it work?
Did you fire it or did it?
I fired it.
Anybody want water?
I think I got one now. Thank you, though. Big head.
Hey, Tom, you ever hear this guy on YouTube called the Homework Guy? He has a series of...
For kids?
No. It's actually, he's an ex-car dealer, and he gives great, has these great things on YouTube about what all these add-ons are, what they should cost, why you should avoid them. it's great educational material.
Tommy did a DVD years ago.
Yeah, I know.
I know that shit. It was really good, actually, for the time, and it wasn't.
I wish I'd get a hold of it.
Fuck, you know what? I probably have one.
I would
somewhere.
redo it.
This guy is great, though. He goes over all of the kind of things that, they charge for.
I'd be shocked if I didn't.
Everybody, there's a million people.
But this guy is really, really good.
What was I going to ask you? I'm going to ask you later on the system, on the coach I'm picking up. How it breaks down some of the stuff on the electric power and how it monitors it. It's just mind-blowing to me. And some of the settings, like when you're talking about the AC, do you set it at 55 or 50? In other words, it goes to call for the power. It doesn't matter where it's getting it. And if it's asking for too much, I can understand why it doesn't come on, or too little. But where do you set it? Like the default is 55 and 65. I couldn't even tell you if those are amps or the pole. I don't know what that is. But I don't even understand why it gets that fucking technical in there.
Oh, so you can set whether it comes on when it's calling for air conditioning?
I can set, it'll check the air conditioner, the power draw. If you can set the parameters whether or not it will come on.
But I don't know why there would be an upper parameter. I mean,
I don't know. But everything. I mean, I started breaking down these touchscreen panels on a YouTube video. Holy shit.
Well,
man.
I know I can figure it out because I had one like that. I had one where you set parameters on everything. You could even set the hours that an auto gen would come on.
This does that too. And then it also on.
So if you're in a park
and how long the auto gen will run maximum time.
Yeah. Usually what I found was they have defaults, factory defaults. I never found them to be wrong.
Maybe that's it, because the factory knows what AC unit it is.
I mean, most of the time, the factory, the coach builder knows best how to set that up to begin with. If they have that, or do they have any factory defaults or recommended settings?
I'm afraid the factory default would be the computer factory default, meaning you'd have to retell it what everything is. But I don't even know the answer to that question, because I don't know what the previous owners have done. If it was right from the factory like that, I'd be cool.
Let me tell you why. The air conditioner, if it doesn't have enough amps to draw, it'll ruin your air.
Or it also says it can fuck up the inverter.
Well, yeah, everything. If something is drawing power it can't get, it fucks up everything. It was the one about the guy who bought a $12,000 car and it turned out to be $24,000 at some like Fort Myers Honda or something.
Did we get the paperwork on it?
On hers, no, on the woman. So on those things, so they have protections in there that if your battery is too low, it won't draw from it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Or it'll call for whatever to start charging.
But too high, there would be no high.
There's definitely upper and lower limit.
You would want it to draw.
Well, what happens if it's too? Maybe it's like one of the AC units goes awry and it's asking for too much. Could that fuck shit up?
Yeah, maybe.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. And as I say, the only show of its kind anywhere. And I want to remind you about Renew Home Innovations for beautiful bathrooms. If you're looking for the best in showers and tubs or showers, you can call them towers or shubs.
I like that, a shub.
A tub shower combination. Renew Home Innovations. They do American Standard. They start the next day. No maintenance. They have low thresholds so you can use them with disabilities. We love that rather than a walk-in tub. Those walk-in tubs are they're just not a good value, and we can go over the disadvantages. They're not very good. Renew Home Innovations, though, there are showers you can wheel in, walk in with a walker, or, of course, just no threshold, perimeter drains, shelving, grab bars. You make them custom for you. RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000, 904-2000. Listen, Steve's got a question relating to real estate. And by the way, if you have any questions, problems, or complaints on anything, 303-713-TALK. We have some lines available. And tell people about the show. Free help available for consumer problems. I know it's hard to believe that we actually have media with a purpose, not media to hypnotize or to indoctrinate, but media to help. Steve, how can we help you? What's going on?
Hey, good afternoon, Tom.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it, and I appreciate Mark and Brad being available as
Yeah,
well.
Brad O'Brien is our real estate expert, and he's here listening. Go ahead.
So, yeah, perfect timing for my question. So, I was just presented a violation for covenants, given that my daughter is a part owner of a townhome that I own since 2002, and the covenants changed to owner-occupied only back in 2016. So I sent you guys the wording of the covenant change, which says the unit owners must occupy the unit as their personal residence. Leasing or renting of a unit is prohibited. So my situation is my daughter's in the unit. She is a part owner. She's listed on the title.
All right, then she's allowed to live there, but I know where you're going. I'll let you explain. But what I want to say to people is that's a big deal. When it comes to buying a place, that's a really big deal that you can't rent it out. And these are things and reasons you have people look at your covenants in the beginning or look at your bylaws, because many covenants are written so they can be changed very easily. Other covenants are written so they take a supermajority or it's really difficult to change them. And the reason I say this is you could move into a community with a certain set of standards, relying on them, and then all of a sudden they change because the board changed them without a vote. Can't that happen, Brad? The older covenants used to be really easy to change around anytime somebody wanted it. You turn on the mic there. I'm sorry. I should have told you that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Tom. In this case, looks like in 2016, 2/3 of the members of this condo association voted to change.
It was 75%. Wow.
67%.
Or 67. I'm sorry.
So Colorado law gives a lot of discretion to condominium associations to govern themselves. In this case, they voted themselves.
Especially what they call a supermajority. Okay, but now let's go on to your particular problem, because you may not be in violation. Your daughter is living there. She's on the title, so certainly that's owner-occupied.
And that's how I see it. And she's renting out the room to 3 other students, or 3 other people. 2 of them are students, and she's a student. And then the board, who became self-managed last month, they fired Warren because they wanted to save money, and so now they're self-managed. But then they turn around and sent this violation notice to me, even though in the past other owners have rented rooms out to people, even when they were.
Steve, can you read it? Do you have the section there that covers it, or do you have it, Brad? Did he forward it to you?
I've got it.
Can you read that section? What does it say?
Well, there's two lines. The first is the unit owners must occupy the unit as their personal residence. The next, it says leasing or renting a unit is prohibited.
Now, the fact that she's renting a room and not a unit, but the first line may negate it. What the first one says.
Well, Tom, I read these 2 sentences as distinct from each other.
Yeah.
And
so which means what? Distinct from each other, that they both are enforceable?
There are 2 requirements. 1, personal residence. 2, no leasing or renting. Those are really separate things.
Good. How do you see him or Steve and his daughter? Is his daughter in violation, do you think? If she's not renting the unit, she's renting a room.
Well, let me say that this second part is very ambiguous. Where it says renting of a unit, it doesn't say a whole unit or a partial unit, so there's some ambiguity there, and it might take a court to decide what that means.
It's not clear cut.
No.
Is the first one? Does the first line make it clear cut? That saying that they just have to live there as their primary, but she is living there as their primary residence, so she's fulfilling that, right?
Well, you can only use it as a personal residence. You can't.
And that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you look at the violation notice, they're saying I'm in violation of the covenants by operating a commercial enterprise.
Yeah, well, the commercial, okay. Maybe that, hold on. Maybe they're getting around this whole thing. Maybe they're not violating you on that. Maybe they're not violating you on renting out the unit, but is there another part of the covenant that says you can't operate any business out of there?
So if you look at section 7.11 under commercial use, it talks about a commercial business, manufacturing, mercantile, storing, or vending non-residential purposes. But then at the end, it says, nothing in here shall be deemed to prevent the leasing of any unit or structure.
Oh.
Oh.
Now, but that line was changed to the two lines that Brad just stated. So they deleted that last line in 7.11 and replaced it with.
Right. So what are they violating you for? For running a business or for renting out the unit?
It's about renting out the unit, but they're trying to characterize it as a commercial enterprise.
I think they know that there's some ambiguous wording on the unit. They know she's living there, and she's renting out one or two of her rooms. So they're not saying the entire thing is a rental. She is using it as a primary residence. I think they told you that because if you come back with that excuse, they're going to say, oh, no, you can't have any commercial operation. That's why I think they said that.
So if someone's babysitting there, they could do the same thing? Because
no, you're not conducting a commercial operation. Oh, wait, if you take kids in, you mean?
That's what I'm saying. But here's where this guy's issue is going to show up. He got that. In 30 days from that letter, they start charging him $100 a day.
But Mark, Mark, you bring up something about what if a woman had some babysitting?
We're selling Tupperware out of there.
That could be a commercial operation. In fact, I'll bet you, Brad, you've run into this before. This happens time and time again. There are people who do that all the time, or they might have a home office. For God's sakes, that's a commercial operation. So it's really weird when they have clauses in there about home businesses. Don't you think, Brad? I mean, it's really weird.
There may be a rule that applies here that allows someone to work from home or do something that doesn't look like a commercial enterprise without violating any no commercial covenant. But that's really separate from what's going on here.
In 7.11, it says you cannot be used for any business, commercial, manufacturing, or mercantile. But this is not a commercial business, which implies certain things. You're selling products, that kind of stuff.
Well, it said business.
Well, here, Brad read it. Go ahead.
The main issue is about renting to somebody else, whether it's called a commercial enterprise or not. And I think you have a problem here because August 10th, they're going to start billing you $100 a day, and they're going to start tacking on their attorney's fees. I've seen a $100 fine for leaving a trash can out too long got spun up to $5,000 once they add attorney fees.
Or it adds up to an eviction
but let me tell you, Steve,
forecloses.
Steve, let me tell you the biggest problem. The biggest problem, I've said this before about HOAs, you're fighting with your own money because they don't fight with their money. They fight with your money because it's not... There's not one person saying, oh, doggone it, Steve is going to sue us. They don't care. They go out and assess everyone if they don't have enough money. And then you end up being assessed for legal fees when it's all done. So they don't care about fighting you. One of the best things to do would be to cease whatever's in question and then fight it, rather than racking up money and fines.
So what they said is, as long as you're not leasing to the occupants of the room, they can pay bills like, utilities or food or whatever, and they could pay that way as long as it's not called a lease and there's no deposit. So now they're even kind of backing out that way.
No, what they're saying is you can have roommates. That's what a roommate does. They chip in for expenses.
Well, what if they want to chip in for my daughter's college expenses?
That gets weird. I don't know. I mean, first of all, does she know who she's renting to?
It's like 3 of them.
Does she know them personally?
Absolutely. They've lived together for
well, if she knows them personally, she may nix the lease altogether, have them chip in for expenses, and then she can surcharge the expenses. How would they know that?
I guess if you ever had to go to court, you could...
I mean, but if you tell them we're not going to be renting anymore, they're just going to chip in for expenses, are they going to do a damn audit?
I don't know. And this is only a complex of 40 units, so this is not a big complex. And I guess my question is, they forced me to sell, and I've owned this unit since 2002, and I started renting in 2006 after I moved away. If they force me to sell, do I have a class action lawsuit?
There's no class action. There's no class there. There's not a bunch. I mean, do you have a lawsuit is what you mean. Everybody has a lawsuit. Whether or not it's worth it or it will be recognized or not tossed out is a different story.
Yeah, but when he bought this, he agreed to all the rules of the HOA. So when they voted and they changed the way it went, he already agreed to that, right?
Well, for sure. I mean, everyone does when and that's why they usually have a supermajority. But Steve, what would you sue for? That they forced you to sell and you made a giant profit?
Well, I mean, it's more
Where's your loss? Where's your loss?
Well, he would calculate the rent over years or however. Oh, no, there would be, yeah, that would be so incalculable. I mean, you sell, you can buy again. I mean, really, I mean, that would be not even worth it. I mean, what are your damages? You're going to make a profit.
The loss of future revenue.
What? You could take that measly money she's making by the month, and how much do you think you're going to make on that condo?
Profit, or what do you mean?
How much do you think you're going to make on that? Yeah, above what you paid for it.
Well, I could sell it probably for about $375.
And what did you buy it for?
Over $200.
Okay, so you're going to make some money. Listen, I think it's a fool's errand to try to sue over this. That's what I think. Okay? Yeah. I mean, you can sue over anything, but to try to calculate a loss based on more than $100,000 in profits, you're not going to get anybody sympathetic to you. Oh, he can't rent this out. Well, guess what? They ruled against it in 2016. You know why?
Well, there's some question on the legitimacy of that as well, because one of the homeowners that they needed a signature from dated his form.
Okay, Steve, listen. I know all about court. I swear to God. I've been to court 14 times. No, I'm serious. Do you know what do you think it would cost to fight this? What do you think? Just give me a guess. What do you think? I'm serious now. I'm not kidding around. What do you think it would cost to get to the courtroom steps, to calculate losses, go back into their books and secretarial stuff to see that they didn't do it properly? What do you think it would cost just to get to the steps, not to even litigate it? What do you think it would cost you?
$15,000.
$150,000, no less. Brad, am I lying or I'm dying? I know court. Now you may say no, but God damn it, I'm telling you, there's not an attorney alive that can take a case like this and go to court after depositions and all of the expert witness and getting into their books at the condo association, all of that. Do you think it would take 150 to get to court, or maybe 75? You tell me.
Well, at least 50, but I think I'm not even sure I would take the case at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what the claim is.
And here's the point. If you can have it done for 50, I pay it. Nobody, you could never do this case for 50 grand.
People have no
idea. As much as I really respect and like you, there's no way you couldn't get this case to court for 50 grand to save your fucking life. I know you could. I mean, I know what it is to go to court. I've never once ever had a lawsuit ever less than 100 grand. Not one.
How narrow is the issue? Are you fighting all a bunch of stuff?
Yeah, he's trying to say that the whole vote was wrong, and then he was trying.
I wouldn't argue that in court.
Well, I know.
It's losing at 5 years old.
I mean, there's so many things that he was trying to fight. He's saying first, the vote wasn't, that's the only thing he has to attack, or then is this a commercial activity? You get expert witnesses.
You better fucking get
Of course, your attorney fees are
$100 a day, man. Holy shit.
Plus attorney fees.
$3,000 a month.
Plus
or he better up those 3 rents. Now, if he can get, $3 grand a month from each of them.
Well, the attorney fees were really good.
You double your attorney fees. Yeah. If you lose, you pay yours, then you got to pay the other side. That's how you get to 150.
Yeah.
No, but it's not even their side, seriously. But depositions alone, I mean, depositions are going to be 25 grand by the time you're done. I want to tell you about Fix It 24/7, who are selling new AC and furnace systems for $77 a month. Now, obviously, you may not need a new system, but if you do, if you're even getting close to thinking about it, there are going to be shortages and waits for furnaces and AC. It's going to happen. And that is why many of the suppliers are stocking up, and Fix It 24/7 has a line on new systems for you because they saw it coming. Or you may just want good service for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. FixMyHome.com. That's 720-526-3939. If you're in trouble and you have a crime that you're accused of, like even a DUI, that's a crime, plus a DMV issue, it's both. Or you have another issue with a neighbor or a friend, it can get messy. You need an attorney. Don't ever, ever try to fight this alone. Lazara Legal, Joe Lazara, is the one we recommend. We've done the shopping for you. Never shop under pressure. Joe will give you free consultations and flat rate pricing, 303-429-6200. Listen, I hope you never need them. But if you do need them, you'd be a fool not to hire an attorney to defend you. 303-429-6200. It's simple. If you want floor coverings, you can buy them anywhere. But it's not so simple when you're looking for the best prices, the best installers, and the best experience. How about appointments in your home? You get that with simplyfloorsinc.com. That's INC. If you go to Simply Floors Inc., just answer a few questions, they'll come out to your house with all of the stuff you're interested in, no matter what it is. Luxury vinyl tile, carpeting, hardwood floors, laminates, engineered flooring. Simplyfloorsinc.com for better pricing and better people. It's simplyfloorsinc.com.
Farms Chicken is hiring. Redbird Farms Chicken is looking for new staff to join their team in the front line at their processing plant. These positions will be cool and offer medical and dental insurance and 401k. Apply in person at Redbird Farms Chicken, 2520 South Raritan Street in Englewood. That's 2520 South Raritan Street in Englewood.
I took off early yesterday for my surgery, right? Yeah, okay. It was yesterday. I'm trying to fill in what I did here. Yes, you did.
The Sharp Designs in Englewood wants to keep you safe and worry-free during these times, which is why they're making car buying easier than ever right from your home. You can pick out your car right from the Sharp Designs website, get credit approved, finance, and they will literally drive your new car right to your front door. It's that easy. The Sharp Designs is the #1 internet car dealer in Colorado.
And there is a smell out there that is fucking bad.
Now it's in here.
You're a funny fucking guy.
Not going to fish.
It smells so bad.
I am funny.
Yeah, big head. Fucking blocking people's sun, just walking around.
This is a big head. There's a lot of stuff in that head.
Big empty head.
You're able to pull out cash from your home equity so you can pay off credit card balances, personal loans, whatever you need. You'll typically receive...
You missed a good one there, Tom.
What do you mean?
We had videos and Marco Benelli on.
Video?
Oh, videos.
What do you mean?
Security guard.
Security guard was...
Pepper sprayed this dude, threw his phone across the room.
Wait. Where? And he was on the show?
Yeah.
And what was Ben Dinelli talking about? He was our expert for this?
Mm-hmm.
And we got video of that? I need to put it on our Instagram.
Right.
Oh, send it to me, bro. Oh,
You're
my
gonna
God.
have to cut the shit out of it.
No, we will. I'll shorten it up. But what is the what is the case? What is the case?
The guy was just sitting at this venue. He was just sitting at this venue in Denver, and they went outside of the venue to vape.
Yeah.
And then the security guard came up, and you see it on there, and basically, well, exactly that. Pushed the guy, grabbed his phone, threw it.
Why'd he do it?
Pepper sprayed him.
Why'd he do it?
Then a whole brouhaha started.
He didn't want him to be...
I think it's a security guard.
It's evident the security guard was way the fuck out of line.
And there was only one that was out of line.
Wow.
The videos, it's a good video.
Did he think he had a case?
There wasn't much damages until we started talking about damages. Then his shoulder started hurting. Marco's, the minimum, Marco's writing a letter to make sure the security guard gets fired.
Yeah, that's what.
Did he go to Marco first and then to us?
No.
Okay.
It's a COVID-19 clinical trial.
Oh, and there's another part to it. They were the only black people in the entire venue.
Oh, they were black.
And other people apparently were outside vaping with no problem.
That's weird.
Ants didn't think it was racial.
That's not correct.
We had ants come on.
Yeah, I brought ants in. But it's impossible. This security guard should not have a job. I mean, he started every physical altercation was started by him. You can just tell he's one of those wannabes.
Wow.
He's a short little guy, too.
Yeah, he's like Gary Coleman, who was a security guard at a mall. Can you believe that shit? I still can't believe it.
Did you guys ever see the movie about Richard Jewell?
Yeah.
About how he got railroaded?
Yeah.
I don't even know who it is.
He was the guard at the Olympics.
At the Olympics. With the
with the bomb.
Yeah.
he was accused of doing it.
Is it a bomb or a bomb?
And it ruined the poor
Who
guy's
told him
life.
to get that bomb?
But then they found the guy that really did it. But
that was after his life was ruined.
He got a lot of money, but then he died.
he died?
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Frank Duran at realestateman.com will do free market valuations of your home, and it's way better than Zillow or even an appraisal. How can it be better than an appraisal? Because he tells you what that house will bring on the open market based on his 26 years of experience. Now, I'm not saying that an appraisal is not important. I'm saying this tells you how much more you can get than an appraisal or what you'll really get. It's a free market valuation with no obligation to list. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. 303-920-1622. So, let's talk to Smarty Marty with some follow-ups. And Smarty Marty, you have some follow-ups. Can you explain what they are? Go ahead.
Yeah, Tom, I only have one, but it's really big, and I need your advice.
Okay.
Catherine had called in, I think it was yesterday, regarding some luggage that was struck by a cab.
Run over, not struck.
I think Mark must have taken
Yeah, so here's the deal in a nutshell.
Go ahead.
The lady's trying to get a cab to leave the Wynn Casino. A cab pulls up, her luggage was right there and runs over it. There was tablets and other stuff broken inside the luggage. The security guards that were there saw it happen.
Who put the luggage there?
She did. The taxi cab driver acknowledged he ran over it. They opened it up and all the stuff was broken then and there, so it's not like she fabricated it later. And it looked like they were going to go ahead and pay it as far as she could tell at that point. So fast forward, the insurance company is denying the claim, basically saying, you put the luggage there, not us. It's not our fault, it's yours.
Okay. But who is she going after? The cab, the taxi company, or the hotel?
Their insurance company.
Okay. I don't know.
Who denied it, Tom? Because the Wynn will not provide video footage without a subpoena to the insurance company to show who really was at fault that day.
Well, okay. She put the luggage down in the street?
Well, no, remember, this is under the Wynn, like where you go to get picked up.
I know, but
it's in the pickup area.
No, it's in the valet area, right?
Yeah, it's one of those 20 lanes, yes.
All right. And okay, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay. Was she in the lane or near the door?
I'm not sure. Marty,
She said she sat her luggage down before the cab driver drove up to get into a different vehicle, a limo, and the cab driver saying, no, she sat that luggage in front of my vehicle after I was already there.
I see. Well, so in other words, he's saying he was sitting there, the luggage was put in front of him, he had no idea it was there.
Correct, but she's saying it was sitting there before the cab driver already
and
came up.
security footage would show it, but the Wynn won't.
Well, yeah, but the security guards that work there, according to her, acknowledged it was already there and it was a cab driver's fault.
Well, okay. So where do we stand, Marty?
So I had contacted the insurance company by email and by telephone, and he contends he needs the video footage. He contends that...
Because he's only going by what his insured told him.
Correct. And he wants the footage so that he can know who's at fault.
I get it.
He claims that whoever put the luggage out is at fault, and I made the claim, I said, if by your logic, if I was to rear-end somebody that shouldn't be there, then it's their fault. And he says, well, I don't deal with hypotheticals.
But wait a minute. So he's claiming even if his cab driver saw the luggage and hit it, the fact that she put it there, so the security footage wouldn't matter.
What he's claiming is we don't know how quickly the person who put the luggage there, was there enough time for my cabbie to see it, is his claim.
It sounds like he's, saying, hey, she threw it right in front of my cab.
Right,
There's nothing we could do.
Right.
But
Smarty Marty, listen, the insurance person, though, is not incorrect in saying he needs to know what went on because according to his own insured, it was already there when he went to take off.
Yeah, he thought it was the limo that put the luggage there. He thought the limo driver
placed the luggage there. I didn't know who put it there.
But by the way, was it put there? Did the guy pull up and hit it, or did he pull away and hit it?
I don't know, but he ran over it.
No,
did he run over it while he was leaving, or did he run over it when he pulled up?
When he pulled up. As he pulled up, he hit it.
Well, then it wouldn't have mattered. Then I don't even know what he means that she put it down while he was already there. That would denote that he was, or indicate that when he was leaving, he ran over it.
Well, either way, he's denying liability. He needs the footage. So I called the Win.
All right, hold on a second. I am way over time. Hold on.
So and Steve Wynn told me. I don't understand. And Steve Wynn told him. We'll find out.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a win-win.
It's a win-win situation.
That was almost clever. Not bad for an engineer.
Not bad for a big, empty-headed skull.
Because I got a big head full of stuff.
Full of shit.
Maybe we should, you know what trephining is? Well, in the old days, they used to cut holes in the skull to let out the bad vapors and the blood. So maybe we should do some trephining on your
vapor hole.
You should try that. We'll do it tonight.
And apparently, they found some really old skulls from Egyptian times with these surgically.
Yeah, but that wasn't because of the brain swelling and they.
Well, no, they thought it was to let out.
Hold on, guys. I got it. I got it.
Bad ethers.
Processor, or underwriter, talk to Westera. With like a $1.8 billion startup, and you can help build it. Go to westeracu.com.
You know, recently we've had some hail reported in certain areas of Denver and beyond. But whether there is a hailstorm or any kind of storm, no matter what the reason, you may need roof work. Excel Roofing is a roofer we recommend. ExcelRoofing.com. Excel as in excellent. EXCEL. Now, here's the point. Excel Roofing knows the Denver area. In Denver since 1993. Started here, owned and operated here. More than 30,000 satisfied customers. You can depend on their warranties. And I know Jay Brett's the owner personally. He's done all of my roofs and all of my work. This is something I take to heart because I know him and the entire family. 303-761-6400. Don't take a chance on storm chasers and people knocking at doors and people writing incomplete contracts. Go with someone solid. Excel Roofing, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. In fact, he doesn't take a cent until you're content. 303-761-6400, excelroofing.com. We talk about accidents and personal injuries on this show and who should pay what. If you need advice, please go to the source, a personal injury attorney who does it every single day. That's John Fuller, Fuller Law. What you really need is someone on your side. But first you need someone just to give you information. And he does that free of charge. He does that because he wants you to know that he simply wants you to have the right information with no obligation to hire him. If you do hire him, it's on contingency. There's no money out of pocket. So make the free call, 303-597-4500. 597-4500.
You know, if you're in the market for that air conditioner now, you got to check this out. And please shop around. It doesn't matter. You want to get multiple bids, and you definitely want to get one from 888heating.com. Right now, if you're looking for furnace and the AC, they're going to throw in a whole home humidifier. Then they're going to give you 5 years with zero, and I mean zero interest to pay for it. You're not going to get a better deal out there. But I want you to shop. I want to prove to you they're going to have the best pricing, and as far as their service, they're unbelievable. They've been on our referral list for well over 10 years. I know the owner personally, Garrett. They're great folks down there. 888heating.com is the website, and 888-HEATING is the phone number. NFL will include Black National Anthem, ramp up social justice message. in
I don't get
2021.
those questions very often.
I didn't know that. I had no idea there was a
It's all
black
scam.
national anthem.
People getting other people out of their timeshares. All these people advertise that stuff.
I don't know. I don't even know.
You hear they
I don't know what it
People have a
is.
legitimate need to get out of timeshares. There's people from those providers
Did
that
you
do
see
it.
that?
I just can't speak to, are they
NFL will include black national anthem.
good value?
I didn't even know there was a black national
I don't have personal experience with
There's
Sam's.
not
These
a
are all
voting
sharks.
economy or.
This
I mean,
fucking
if
country's
they're all-
gonna
I'm not-
implode. I swear
so
to
you
God,
are.
it is.
But I
It's
have
gonna
got people
fucking
myself
implode on
get out of
itself.
timeshares. But,
Biden,
In division.
What are they using?
I don't have
Biden's
marketing.
doing
Somebody
right.
tells me,
What's the usual?
Or
reason
adding to it, I should
get,
say.
how do you get them out?
Very
They really
simple.
supply the contract.
negotiate. Sometimes
When he said,
the offer,
you know, all
No,
lives
it's-
matter.
so they'll just give it back to the ownership.
No, Bernie said,
Really?
they
That's
said
the deal.
feelings,
Sometimes
hey, all
just
lives
give it
matter.
back.
And then he
And
backed
You're not
down
getting any
on
money
it.
out of this.
Right.
I mean, if you pay 10 grand to buy it, you know, and you're trying to get private land to sell it.
DeSantis says Florida chooses freedom over
Because you
Fauciism.
get charged, I don't know, $500
That's
a
pretty
year,
good.
$1,000 a year.
Fauciism.
Right. And they keep
Again,
going up.
they would not like Fauci if the conservatives.
But I've heard there's an angle.
You know what really
companies
pisses me
take.
off? We're not giving political asylum to people seeking
From Cuba.
Yeah.
Because that was a big mess.
because they're fighting
And
communism.
they actually, what does that say about that? It's just fucking insane.
Timeshare companies.
It says that we're basically trying to become communists.
It's up to
They don't want anyone to fight fucking communism.
Interesting. Well, you know, it's really going to be if China steps in on that, the Cuba thing. So,
How would they step in?
by offering, we call that, they give them a bunch of loan money that's really, and then they become like their port, as part of their port. I mean,
Start parking nukes there like Russia was going to do.
right. And the thing about it is you got such a weak president and Congress that they're not going to do anything. I mean, Biden is really weak.
Did you hear what Michael was saying yesterday? I think it was about the fact that the reason they won't let Cubans in is because they're going to vote Republican, whereas all of the other people they're letting in from Mexico are going to be Democrats.
Well, what do you think the reason is?
I think it's that.
I mean, they're anti-communist.
Right, and they're anti-Democrat.
And they would vote against anything to do with communism or socialism,
Right.
whereas the other people would do just the opposite. But they shouldn't. They should give everyone, including those in Mexico, they should give everyone asylum that needs asylum, or at least a transition.
Mexicans don't need asylum.
Well,
they're not.
Or they might.
No, I said the Guatemalans, the El Salvadorians, that's different.
In fact, I didn't know that. You know, of all the Latin American countries, Mexico is by far
The richest.
the richest.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here,
30713
303-713.
Talk. Listen, let me finish up with Smarty Marty. Marty, so how did you leave it? How did you leave it with the insurance company? They want proof.
So I called the WIN, and the WIN won't release it without a judge subpoena. So my question to you, Tom, is if she files small claims, can that small claims judge order for the tape to be released?
I don't know. First of all, the judge.
You could. I think so. I don't know if he would.
No, the judge doesn't order a subpoena. Each side orders their subpoenas. Isn't that right, Brad, or what?
Well, in small claims, you would actually do the subpoena.
I understand, but that's the party, not the judge, right? Isn't that who does the subpoena? Brad.
Pardon me.
According
The party
to the WIN,
submits
the WIN said the
a
judge
subpoena
has ordered
form
the subpoena.
The parties submit the subpoena form.
to the clerk of the court, and the clerk of the court signs it, and then you have the sheriff serve it.
Right. So it's not the judge ordering it. If you want it, you ask for it.
So Catherine has to do that.
So wait a minute, guys. Somebody suggested the taxi cab driver should have had a dash cam.
I wonder if they have dash cams.
Yeah, but
do
they're
they?
not going to show it.
Yeah, but
they ran over the luggage.
Marty, she would have to bring this to court, and I'm not sure in small claims court, do they have subpoena power in small claims court?
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
Okay, so even in small claims court, but she has to bring her small claim in Vegas against the taxi driver and the company, and then she would have to order a subpoena for but that's on WIN. She would have to order the subpoena on WIN for the security footage. It's going to be, I mean, how much damage does she have, for God's sakes? This is going to cost
$2,500. $2,500.
Well, it's going to far surpass that eventually here. I mean, does she know how to write up a subpoena?
I don't know. Maybe she
small claims. It's pretty easy, man.
Okay, so That's what she's going to have to do. I don't know why they have to make it so hard just to look at security footage. Maybe they just don't want people asking every day, and that's why they do it that way. So I guess I can't blame them. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up. Stay tuned, Nicola, about the leaking HOA roof issue, and we have another HOA with hot water for 4 days.
How hard is it to give somebody a copy of the
Well, Tom just nailed it. Oh my God, can you imagine? Hey, someone stole my quarters out of that machine, or they would have to hire a whole fucking team just to pull video. Hey, that guy knocked over my beer.
Wasn't there witnesses though? I thought there was even
their own security guards and their valets.
So I'm leaving at 1:45 or one maybe a little earlier. I have to go to another
doctor.
The doctors are just gluing them back together one day at a time.
Yes.
I'm getting pelleted next week, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Is that the first one?
No, fuck no. It's been the first one since I was fucking 1800 plus.
Oh, yeah.
They had me fucking jacked out of the sky. I don't know. It doesn't matter because I know it's out of my system. So I'll go in and I'll get pelleted and I'll also have them pull blood at the same time.
But they're gonna pellet you less, right?
Yeah, because what happened when they overdid it is they overdid it. They actually added more than what they did the very first time.
Why did they?
Probably because of a comment I made. I said, you know, the second round I didn't feel as much as effect as I did the first round. He said, okay, well I'll add some more pellets.
But I've noticed I don't feel the same effects anyway, but I still feel good. But
I've always said that. It's just
you get used to it.
You get used to it.
The first time I went, holy shit.
Same with Dan, the first time you got pelleted, you couldn't stop talking about it.
But Dan, it doesn't work. It's not like it doesn't work after that. You get used to it.
I know, but I felt me come down because I waited actually 5 months because I wanted to see how long it could do. So
and when they did it again,
and then they did it,
and you didn't feel anything.
Misinformation poses an imminent and serious threat.
I should have went down testosterone. I should have went down.
They secreted blood over 5 months, 4 or 5 months, rather than taking shots or creams.
I'll tell you what, they sell a lot of those shops. They'll pull up to like Douglas County. They'll be giving shots to those cops twice a week, all fucking long, all day long.
Testosterone?
Yeah, all day long. Well, because that's all their insurance will pay for. So I mean, if we go do it there, I mean they are fucking lined up like every 15 minutes.
Why don't they just go? But why don't they just do?
It all depends.
Why don't they do themselves?
I don't want to talk costs on it, just because we're on.
But why don't they? I wonder why they don't sell it. You can do it at home.
But two to 500.
In fact, what's his name was doing it? Clint was doing them at home. Shots.
Yeah, but Clint's always, come on, Clint goes to Mexico and comes back with every fucking medication the man.
And without his teeth.
He has his teeth done in Mexico.
Yeah, he lost his foot.
He lost his foot in Mexico. No, I bet once he got rid of that bad kicker, man.
I've been here since 2008.
He's running marathons.
Chicago for 12 years before that. I grew up in Oklahoma.
I always liked Clint.
So approach out here to give him a call.
We're just down in Chicago. We're down in the big cities.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though.
We didn't want to go to the coast.
You come in here with that big old fucking Pepsi, man.
Yeah, I came in.
Let me tell him, that guy.
That was back when it was fashionable.
No, it wasn't fashionable, you know.
Not at all.
There was very few New Yorkers out here back in the 80s.
When you first start hearing his stories, you start going,
I seen the little cabin they got when he went in there.
One day,
on his own.
It's really hard place.
Might not all pass.
Oh, even back then it was like a junior city. Downtown was burned out.
Oh, you mean
Denver? Yes, it was industrial.
You know, New York.
Housing downtown.
Yeah, I was 40 years old when I moved out here. So I spent the first 40 years in New York. The first week we came out here, my wife and I did a fellowship, so new job, new city. We went downtown for something to eat. And we came out of a restaurant, it must have been like 8:30. There was not a car, not a person. And in New York, you can't even walk on the streets at 8:30, it's so crowded. And I said, oh my God, what do we get into? But it just grows on you. You know, once once the DCPA got down there and Coors Field, it just changed the whole city. Because with the Bronco games, there's 8 games in the middle of the winter, people don't hang around. But with Coors Field,
So
every 2 games,
they're gonna play the summertime,
everybody hangs out, goes to bars, it was one of the best things.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
It's kind of a foodie town in the last 15 years.
Yeah. And I love DCPA. I mean, growing up in New York, theater was part of what we did.
That'd be weird.
Can you imagine?
That would be really
Can you
exciting.
imagine? They got kicked out, but the DCPA is kicked out. They're just terrific.
Macy's has a help wanted sign out. The retailer is looking to bring.
You went to law school in Oklahoma?
In Chicago, I went to Loyola, Chicago.
Okay.
A national hiring event being held today from hundreds of locations.
My son went to a Jesuit high school out of Regis, and he wanted to go to Loyola or to Loyola in L.A.
Yeah. They're separate.
Yeah, and he just didn't have the grades. He was so pissed because he screwed off the first 2 years. And I said, well, you know, you pay the price.
So I kind of forgot. What did they tell you?
Had a great time.
At Elish's, that there was refunds, but only a handful.
No. They said
supposed to be a great school.
Catholic school history.
Under 16, all the company right?
Oh, really?
16 and 17, they could be there on their own until 3.
But how about the refund?
The refund, they got to send an email.
So Notre Dame and so it's a contact to me.
She said, hardly for good.
Our level was there. Like the right people there, and it's very conservative pocket.
This was like the operator.
Well, yeah, it's also, you know, some of these schools have become so progressive. It
I
really
wonder if
scares
they're
me. What? No, I'm saying Notre Dame,
It's kind
I'm
of
sure
weird.
isn't.
It's a first come, first.
So many of the other private schools.
I guess if you don't have a kid that would be affected, or you're not affected as a season pass holder, of course we're not going to give you a refund.
Or if you bought an adult one at the same time, it wouldn't matter.
I bought an adult one with the kids, and we dropped them off way more than I went.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
like 75.
Well, they would just refund the kids' ones.
maybe.
Well, I mean, they should.
Yeah.
When I went to medical school at George Washington in D.C., the tuition was $5,000.
Back in the good old days.
In the good old days, exactly.
Paid for college on your summer job.
Right, I did.
Yeah, but back then you were still bleeding people.
No, you know, this is back.
They're saying the Pentagon is
I had I did computer programming systems for 10 years before going to medical school.
Good old-fashioned coup.
I was in the first school where they did it without a weapon.
Paid great in those days.
Well, they did have Nancy Pelosi's laptop.
But now you can't. I mean, medical school is so fucking expensive now. It's crazy. I mean, you think about it. Undergraduate is $75,000. I can't imagine what medical school is costing these days.
Oh, man, I read that story that they said so generals feared this. I think a lot of people are looking for books to write.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors is there for you. Remember that. If you ever need garage door help, oneclearchoicedoors.com. What I love about them is all their prices are right there at oneclearchoicedoors.com. If you have an emergency or just regular maintenance, or you want to buy a door or an opener, they're one of the best companies I've ever encountered. oneclearchoicedoors.com. Now, Nicola wants to talk about a roof issue. Let's talk to her, and then we'll go on. And we have some other questions on real estate. We have Brad O'Brien from O'Brien Legal Services with us on real estate issues. And if you have any real estate questions, give us a call, 303-713-TALK, or, of course, any problems, questions, or complaints. What's going on, Nicola? What's going on?
So I've been having a leaking roof since probably 2019, and
What?
I've been.
Is it a townhome or a condo?
it's a condo. It's a 2-story condo.
And are you on the second floor?
No, it's a unit. So I have 2 stories. I have
2 stories. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And so where's the leaking coming in?
It's coming in from the roof.
Yeah, but where in the house do you see it?
It was coming in all over the place.
Well, it's since 2019. I mean, they haven't done anything.
Well, they did. They came in, they repaired it, and it started leaking again. So this time when it started leaking, it came into my main level, and it messed up my ceiling, and then finally my ceiling fell through.
Wow.
So by that time, it was already like 10 months. So I started recording it. After they fixed it, I started recording it again. So they fixed it. It started leaking again. So
When did this? When was the latest time that it leaked?
Okay, so the latest time was just 10 months ago.
Well,
but it just recently fell through. I want to say 3 weeks ago.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. So 3 weeks ago, it just fell right in.
Yes, my whole ceiling.
From well, when you say your whole ceiling, what room?
It was between my kitchen and my front door.
So what are they going to do about that?
Like a little hole.
What are they going to do about that?
They put my owner and the HOA have been battling back and forth on who's going to do the maintenance in the condo and on the roof and back and forth. Finally, I went on Channel 4 News, and my owner decided to come in and fix my ceiling instead of battling back and forth with the HOA.
You say your owner, the landlord?
Yes, the owner of my condo.
Okay. Now, is his homeowners covering it?
That's the whole thing. I'm the one that's paying the HOA. I make the payments to the HOA.
Yeah, but you don't. No, I'm talking about his homeowner's insurance, or do you have renter's insurance?
I don't have renter's insurance.
So he paid out of pocket? That's the question. Did he pay out of his own pocket to fix it?
And you're paying HOA fees. That's neither here nor there. That's just part of your agreement. You're paying the HOA fees?
Yes.
So what is your question to us?
So my question is there any way that I could take the HOA to court, because they still haven't fixed the issue? They still have not.
Okay, you're a tenant. This is sticky here. Let's talk. Brad O'Brien is our legal expert on real estate issues. Brad, when you're a renter, do you have standing to take the HOA to court?
Not really. It's the owner of the unit that does that, have that right.
See, you really can only deal with your landlord. You're not the owner.
So do I take my owner to court because I had to move out of my unit to go into a hotel? Like, I've been so stressed out about.
Did he charge rent during those days, or did he prorate?
Yes, he did. For the last, yes, he has.
How much time were you out of the apartment or out of the condo?
About 2 weeks.
And he didn't give you a break on rent?
No, and my rent is due right now on the 15th.
Now, that's where renter's insurance would come in. If your lease, does it mention renter's insurance?
I have not really looked at it like that.
I've seen some leases that say we expressly waive any damages or anything that can happen to you, or you waive them, I mean.
Wouldn't she have third-party standing in this scenario?
You mean to sue the HOA?
Yeah, I mean,
not really.
Directly affects her in every which way.
No, because there's no agreement between the HOA and the landlord to take care of anything. So, in other words, it's like a third-party beneficiary. A tenant wouldn't be a third-party beneficiary to the landlord's ownership, right? I don't think so. I mean...
Well, I haven't seen the HOA documents, but they're going to say who's responsible for personal property in the unit, and most likely it's going to say whoever's living there has to have their own insurance.
Right. In other words, it depends. Everything depends, Nicole, on what you signed and what the documents say. I almost am positive, I don't know, maybe not, but your lease should have said, we encourage you to get, insurance because we're not going to cover it. If he's any kind of a landlord, I don't know how the landlord could be held responsible for it unless the landlord knew about the situation somehow and didn't do anything. Nicola, this is just a weird situation where you're a renter in a condo, and the condo is owned by someone who has a relationship with the HOA. So it's weird. I know you're renting there, and I know what Mark meant by third party, meaning let's say the HOA was derelict in their duties. Could you say they had a duty to you because you are kind of renting those rights from this guy?
Yeah.
Brad, I don't know if that, I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me.
Well, she might be entitled to some rent abatement, but the lease is where I would look first to see what it says about that.
You need to look at your lease as to what happens with loss or damage. There must be something in your lease that addresses that.
Okay, I will look.
Why not just sue? I mean, how much are we talking here? Sue the landlord. I mean, honestly, if this has been a problem since 2019, it's not her fault he didn't get it fixed. Meantime, her stuff gets ruined, so it sounds like she didn't have renter's insurance. I think he would be liable in certain ways.
I mean, you could say he was...
Bradley, what do you think?
Yeah, it's property damage, and if somebody damages your property, they might be liable. So there might be a case there.
It depends on what he excluded in the lease or warned you about. He may have required renter's insurance and you didn't get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
in my lease, like I've been renting from him for like 6 years, and I've had 2 condos with him, and he's never told me I needed renter's insurance.
No, but what does the lease say about anything to do with damages? Just look at that or send us a copy of the lease.
Okay.
Nicola, this is going to be hard to recover, and everyone should have renter's insurance to avoid this.
If it was a leaky water heater and it just happened to be upstairs, okay, and he kept coming over and duct taping it or whatever, and it continually leaked, ruining her stuff, and it went on for well over a year.
But he didn't fix it. The HOA was fixing it.
No, he went over and fixed the roof himself.
Oh.
The ceiling.
The owner, no, I know, I understand that. He fixed the ceiling, but he didn't make it caved. He didn't fix the leaks. He didn't.
Yes, that's where it stems from, is the leak in the roof.
Okay, but he wasn't coming over repairing the leaks over 6 times. That was the homeowners association that did that. He came over and fixed the ceiling. Okay, so he didn't keep duct taping the ceiling until it fell down. He was never there until it finally fell down. Then he came to fix it. The bottom line is this landlord really had no knowledge of all this, did he? Did you tell him every time the roof leaked?
Yes, and I sent him emails, I sent him pictures, I kept documentation of everything.
And then he's the one that complained to the HOA?
No, I don't think he's even complained. I think when finally I went on the news and I told everything.
No, what I want to know is why did the HOA fix the leak several times since 2019?
Because I was complaining about it leaking in my condo.
Okay, and who were you complaining to?
I was complaining to my owner.
And the owner was complaining to the HOA?
Yeah, and the HOA still hasn't did nothing.
Okay, so the owner was doing what he was supposed to do. He complained to the HOA. I mean, I don't see how this owner has liability here, but try it. I mean, this owner, you complained to me, I complained to the HOA. The HOA says, yeah, we fixed it. What am I supposed to do, go inspect it? I mean, I think my HOA fixed it. Now it happens again. I say to the HOA, come on, man, fix it. They fix it again. How many times did they say they fixed it?
6 times.
Okay, he ought to go after the HOA or something. I mean, he went and fixed the ceiling. They fixed it. And is it fixed now?
It's fixed now. Yes.
And what did they do about the leak, though, that caused it? What did they do about the leak?
They didn't do nothing about the leak. The roof is not fixed.
This is a mess. You may have to leave. I mean, I really don't think there's a clean-cut answer here. I mean, you can sue all you want. The landlord cannot fix that roof. He doesn't have the power to fix it.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
So, Brad, I mean, really, what can she do at this point?
Yeah, this has a practical answer.
Move. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, you can sue the landlord. The landlord's going to say, I don't have any liability here. And damn near he's right. I mean, he can't go up and fix the damn roof. I mean, so...
And that's what I've asked them. I said, well, can you give me my deposit right now, today, so I can move out? You know
well,
what I mean?
he
So I
should at
could
least
avoid
do
them.
that. He should at least
And
help
he-
you get out of there, for goodness sakes.
He's telling me it'll take 3 months, and I'm like, I
What?
work.
Wait a minute.
I get
Why would
paid-
it take 3 months to get your deposit?
I don't know, paperwork or whatever, but I have to, but I told him I work for a living. I live paycheck to paycheck.
Listen, he can't do that regardless. It's either 30 days or 60 days if it's in the lease.
Right. What does he say? What does the lease say about returning the security deposit?
It says 60 days.
Okay, then that's what he can take, 60 days. Is that going to be too long for you?
Well, you know what I mean? Like, if he give me because I live paycheck to paycheck, so I can't just
Right.
pull $2,000
Why is he being such a
out of
jerk?
my-
Yeah, I would say in these cases, I would ask him, listen, I got to take a break, but hold on, man. I want to give you to somebody to call that landlord and get your deposit back. Hold on.
I think you should get it sooner than that. These are extraordinary circumstances. It's not like a normal end of lease. Can you call that fucking landlord and ask him? I mean, that guy should give. This woman's been renting from him for 6 years.
And for 2 years, she's had a leak.
No, she said since 19.
I know, it's 2 years.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah. So
yeah, I also asked, how much damages did she suffer? 2 weeks.
Well, she just wants to get out of there now.
She had 2 weeks.
She'd be happy with her deposit.
Yeah, but he should credit her some fucking rent.
Yeah, I agree. But ask her who paid for the hotel. Maybe the owner paid for the hotel. No, she said he didn't.
I'm Tom Martino for BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Blake Harris is our expert on estate planning, and he can help you when it comes to a will, maybe a trust, avoiding probate, or if you're faced with an immediate probate issue. What I love about Blake Harris and BlakeHarrisLaw.com is that he'll answer all of your questions, and he doesn't nickel and dime you to answer you. Just call him and ask. He only charges when he does things for you, like a will or a trust, and it's a flat rate. Call him, 833-ASK-BLAKE. Everyone needs an estate plan. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's not magic finding floor coverings, but to find them at the best price with the best installers, that's what you really need. Because even the best products can be screwed up if they're not done right. And you also want to pay a good price, right? You want to make sure you have one of the best prices. And that's what you get at simplyfloorsinc.com. Make your own appointment, simplyfloorsinc.com. If you're looking to list your home, you may want to call Frank Duran, the real estate man.com. Now, even if you're not looking to list, you may wonder, what is my house really worth? And in this market, it's more than an appraisal, most likely. And Zillow doesn't come close. You need someone to eyeball that free of charge. Frank Duran. Really, there's no obligation. He's going to use his 26 years of experience because he wants to gain market knowledge, so he's doing it for you free. A market valuation of your home, 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Here says,
I'm going to be religious about it, so we don't ever have fuck-ups. You don't have to worry about it. No, I am. I'm just going to start doing that back and forth.
As I just did recently,
Hitting
it's
the
an
next.
extra checkup and a cleaning and fluoride. For some reason, my wife, who takes much better care of her teeth than I do of mine, has had more trouble.
I cannot think of who's our antivirus people. My fucking brain is farting.
So get found fast.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Our antivirus people. Safe.
One of the things that I love about Aspenwood Dental, especially for my wife, is that they do the complicated
Brad.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Brad. Brad is the guy at SaferNet too.
You'll have all-in-one modern, friendly office full of friendly people. I hope you'll consider Aspenwood Dental for all your dental needs. Learn more at AspenwoodDental.com. That's AspenwoodDental.com.
Attention timeshare owners. Did some high-pressure salesperson twist your arm into buying a timeshare? Did they forget to mention that the vacation times you want will never be available, or that it will cost you more to use the timeshare than if you just booked online as a non-owner? I bet that salesperson also forgot to mention your fees will go up year after year after year. They misled you. It's not right, and it's not your fault. Whether you bought decades ago or days ago, we can help. Timeshare Freedom Group's Freedom Process has helped thousands of people get out of unwanted timeshares. Let us help you be free from your regrettable, overpriced, and unavailable timeshare.
My wife found your video feed.
Leaders in the industry.
Gotcha, huh?
Permanently. That's why we offer a 100% money-back guarantee. Start the Freedom Process now by calling Timeshare Freedom Group at 855-48-CANCEL. That's 855-48-CANCEL. 855-48-CANCEL.
Timeshare Freedom Group, we set you free.
Enjoy a powerful business upgrade with Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event. Get amazing savings with up to 50% off high-performance computers and tech built for
Do you think,
and be able to take the office with you with Windows 10 Pro.
do you think that a lot of people,
servers, monitors,
or is it just us in the media, we watch all this shit? Do you think a lot of people feel political angst more than they ever did? Of course.
That's
You know, it's sad. It really is. Because it's like so diametrically opposed. There's nothing, there's like,
You feel adrift?
my psychiatrist told me today, because I had a morning telephone, because I talk about shit at years once every 6 weeks or so. Anyway, he said that there are people that you just say the word and they associate, like he was saying, like he associates certain things with racism or certain things with hate and bigotry. And for him, Trump was one of them. Okay? He couldn't think of one example. He admitted he couldn't think of one example. But it just is. It just has been made that way.
That's media.
Hold on. Then he said, Blue Lives Matter. They're a bunch of racists. If he was giving word associations, yeah, there's a movement, Blue Lives Matter, Help Please. He says, I think we were saying things to each other of what we think about when we say it. And I said, well, Black Lives Matter, I think that is a true statement, and of course Black Lives Matter. But when people hear Black Lives Matter now, they associate it with a whole litany of political beliefs, not the real matter, which is Black Lives Matter, and they shouldn't be incarcerated or jailed unproportionately and killed and all that. That it does matter that if they're black or white. It does matter that they're black. You shouldn't single them out. Black lives do matter, but when people hear, a lot of people when they hear Black Lives Matter don't think of that.
I think of riots.
They're not. That's right. They're not thinking of that.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303, you sell it, 713-8255. Mike, what's going on with you, Mike? How can we help you, sir?
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Martino. I have a 71% debt-to-income ratio.
Yeah?
And I wanted to borrow some money to fix up the place. But as I go down the list, of course...
You have your debt is 70% to income?
Yes, sir. But refinanced the house a couple of times, and then when it has,
Let me ask you something, Mike. How old are you?
I'll be 74 this month.
How much is your house worth?
Truly. Well, I looked at it on Zillow this morning, and it's $574.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Zillow is low. But let me tell you this then. What do you owe on it?
The mortgage is at $410, so I'm. One of those. I've only been here to like 3.5 years.
Oh man. Okay, now here's some options. I'm going to tell you. I don't know if that's good for a reverse loan. I don't know if it is because you're so high. You would have been an excellent candidate for a reverse loan. You could have stayed there all your life and just tapped the equity, and it wouldn't have mattered if it accrued. You could have just stayed there. But I don't know right now if there would be enough. The best it could do is maybe pay off your mortgage, if that. I'm not sure. What does that come to, loan to value on that, Mark? What is that loan?
75%, so 25 roughly.
I don't know. Listen, that you might not be a candidate for a reverse loan. Another option would be to sell your home, realize the profit, take that money, and use it in conjunction with a reverse loan to buy a house and you have no payment.
How much are you looking for?
Well, my plan, I did a little flow chart or whatever. I'd like to, this place is on 2 acres down here in Elizabeth, and would like to, there's just myself, so would like to, how does this sound, go to a modular with about 5 acres.
Well, a modular is not going to do any good. I mean, it's not a good investment, but I mean, you could save money. You could take your profit and probably find a modular. They're not very expensive, but and then put it on some land and live cheaper, I guess. But I'm not sure that's going to serve you. I don't know. I don't want to see you taken advantage of. Your house, if you have 2 acres and a decent house, you might be able to fix that up and get some money for it. But you got to stop just borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. That's all you're doing. You're doing what a reverse loan would do, but you're doing it the unsafe way. You're living off your equity, but in a really, really destructive way. You're just eating it all up to a point where you have to move. And listen, I'm not, by the way, for those listening, I'm not trying to push reverse loans for everyone. I want to make that very clear. But what I'm saying is this. If he took out the money and had a line of credit and didn't have a house payment earlier in life, he would have been there. He could stay there the rest of his life. It wouldn't have mattered how much. And he could have had an emergency line of credit. You could still sell if you had to, but right now you're at a critical point that you have to decide what to do. And if you have equity, that's good news for you. Even if, God forbid, people say to rent you could go into a senior facility and maybe rent and use your equity wisely, but you better do something now because you're on the brink of doing something crazy. You're going to lose your home if you don't fix it up or if you don't keep up your payments. Can you keep up your payments? You owe a lot of money for a 75-year-old guy. How much are your payments every month?
No, I don't think I'm communicating properly. I don't mean to waste your time.
No, you're not wasting my time, Mike. I'm sorry. I got the impression you couldn't borrow money and you were kind of desperate to fix up your house. Am I wrong?
No, I've fixed up the house, the outside anyway,
okay.
And so I just wanted to borrow like 10 or 20 grand.
Okay, but let me ask you, what is your income a year? Just out of what is your income?
It's about 55, 60 a year.
Okay, that's not bad. And and is
how much is that mortgage payment?
It's currently $2,012.
What does that mean currently?
Yes, currently, yes, sir.
I mean, is it going to go up? Just the way you said that, I didn't get it.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it just went up about $50, $60.
But why did it go up, Mike? Is it a variable rate? What is it?
I don't know for sure. I assume that's where I get in trouble. I assume the taxes on the land.
Okay. Yeah, your escrow could have gone up. Mike, listen, so you want to borrow. Hold on a second. I just don't want to run over time, and I do want to give you the right advice. What were you going to say about it, Brad?
That at the beginning he said his debt to income was 71%.
Yeah.
I think he meant to say loan to value was 71%.
Well, that throws everything
Wait,
off
hold
then.
on. Mike, were you saying your debt to income ratio?
Yeah,
were you
were you
talking
talking
about
about
a debt to income ratio or your loan to value on the house? Mike?
Debt to income ratio.
So when you go to borrow, in other words, when you go to borrow, they tell you you have too much debt.
Correct. And
Yeah.
that debt, and I intentionally did this, my debt is strictly through credit cards.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, everybody's out there is going to say, "Boy, Mike, you're really dumb."
How much credit card debt do you have?
Currently, I do this every day.
Just roughly.
38 grand.
You see, Mike, you're living on borrowed time here, brother. You're living on credit cards and equity. It's a path to destruction.
This could be a bankruptcy.
And Mike, Don't say, by the way, don't tell me, oh, I just need to borrow 10 or 15. You have no idea how much trouble you're in. You're just borrowing yourself into total extinction. And if you're kind enough to hang on, we will really help you, but not with BS advice, but real advice, and it's going to be hard advice to hear.
38.
This poor guy needs to do. He has too much equity for a bank. No.
He's got a, what did it say, 150 of equity?
He takes 410 on 575, which actually is 71%. So he has 71% LTV and 71% debt.
Well, we're not doing that one. I'll do 230s.
$38,000 credit card. I spoke to Nicole a month later.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She does not want to move. She says, I really love.
Okay, then talk to that landlord and help the fucking guy.
Well, she can't even give me a number for the. I have an email for the HOA.
Most of these people just need a direction to go.
Yeah.
But the HOA is not in on this. That landlord needs to give her a break.
Well, the landlord needs to get on the HOA.
That's right, but help him get on them. But we need to tell him he needs to help her with rental abatement.
I bet she's got cheap rent. That's where she wants to stay.
I'll do it. I got it. 230s, Random Liquidator, and Genesis.
All free checking. Visit
$38,000. We think that is. That's got to be a grand a month.
Granite Liquidators is definitely someone that you want to know if you're doing a home improvement. Now, while I say Granite Liquidators, what I should be saying is Stone Liquidators. Any stone you need by slab, they will sell to you directly for wholesale prices. Let me tell you how cool that is. You see, if you're decorating, the first thing you should do is buy the stone and then decorate around it, because stone is not easily changed out. So whether it's granite, quartzite, marble, whatever slab, go to Granite Liquidators in Wheat Ridge, 5075 Tabor Street, and you walk the yard just like the contractor, pick it out just like the contractor. They put your name on it and save it for you until you or your contractor are ready for it. So buy your stone at Granite Liquidators. They have everything you need to get started. You will love looking at the entire slab for your project instead of tiny little samples. GraniteLiquidators.com, 5075 Tabor Street in Wheat Ridge. Genesis, a name that I know and trust. Genesis Total Exteriors now has a solar division, and I am so happy because solar is still viable with the right people. And GenesisSolarCO.com are the right people. They give a 25-year guarantee on your components and a 25-year guarantee on performance. If they don't meet the performance numbers and save you the money, you get a check every year. This is a plan you need to get in on. You own it, you're not renting, so you're not leasing it, so there's no complication when you sell. Call GenesisSolarCO.com, 720-667-4760. That's GenesisSolarCO.com. You just heard me talk about a reverse loan. It's not for everyone, but certainly it can be a lifesaver for some. I know of an elderly man who got a reverse loan so he could have health care in his home and remain there the rest of his life. Another guy was about to lose his home. He got a reverse loan. He not only paid off their arrearages, but now has no payment whatsoever. He's even able to live a little on his Social Security. And SilverleafMortgage.com is one of the lenders I recommend. SilverleafMortgage.com, 720-REVERSE. 720-REVERSE. Harris Family Law for your divorce. I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park, but one thing Harris will do that no other law firm does is collaborative law. They actually sign with the other party an agreement not to file anything in court and to do everything through talking unless absolutely the last option. It's called collaborative law. They also do unbundled services to keep your costs down. You might want to do a little legwork yourself to save money and have them do some of the other filings, whatever it is, or you want them to handle the whole thing. You're in great hands with Rich and Lisa Harris and their entire family of attorneys specializing in different options and points. Why don't you contact them? 303-515-5000. 303-515-5000.
It's the podcast about the obscure events that shape our world.
Wow, really grand credit card debt. I can't even imagine that.
Well, people want more than that, but you're right. That's a shitload for credit cards.
No, he's in trouble. He's in fucking trouble, and he needs to be.
Well, remember, he's also 74. I don't know how much you're going to be changing in him.
Yeah, but the man needs to hear some heavy truth. He says, "Oh, I just need 10 or 15." See, he's just putting a Band-Aid on this big problem. He's going to keep running out of money. He's living on credit cards.
What's his income from?
Probably
Social Security, but it's $55,000.
I don't know,
Okay,
probably
maybe pension. You're right.
But I don't know if any of it's. I think he might want to consider a fucking bankruptcy.
I think so too.
I'm serious about that.
He might actually, with that income, he might be perfect for an 11, or not 11, but 13.
Well, he doesn't have enough to. I think they would take his house.
Yeah, I do. He's got $175,000.
How much can he protect?
It's only him.
Oh
yeah.
So what? How much?
50, maybe.
Oh shit. You know what? He might be perfect for a Chapter 13. You are right.
No.
You are right. That is a good option for him.
Then he's not paying 20% interest. They'll cram those credit cards down to 6% or whatever they'll be, and he'll pay them off.
You know what? That's good. That's good. That's good.
See if Gigi can come on. We haven't had her on forever. I don't think he'd be able to.
If you're a home builder or remodeler, your reputation is built on the happiness of the homeowner. Few things make people happier than smart home technologies. The ability to lock doors and check security cameras from your phone or a tablet to turn on
Suzanne's going to try to get Gigi.
or adjust the thermostat or lower the shades.
I wonder if this sounds crazy, and they probably can't do it. Yeah, but there's also a common sense factor. It's not really age discrimination.
What can I log into here? I will leave it up for you if you promise to fuck to just close it.
Yeah, I'll close it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Then I'll leave this up for you.
That's fine.
Because I got a skedoodle in a few minutes. In fact, I might even do it between calls. I swear to God.
All right, that's all good.
I just didn't want to leave this guy hanging. I want to make sure. All right.
By joining the Guy Reed Loyalty Program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Reed, your neighborhood paint store.
Did he leave? Is that him? Tom Martino here, 303-713.
Brad O'Brien is with us from O'Brien Legal Services, olslaw.com for any real estate stuff, 720-370-7388. Okay, now, we're talking to, is it Mike we were talking to, right? Okay, Mike, listen, we don't mean to come down on him, but we really want to help you. You're 74 years old. You have $38,000 in credit card debt. You owe $410 on about a 500-something-odd thousand house. You have about $175,000 in equity. You're looking to borrow more money, and you have about $50,000 to $55,000 in income. But you are clearly living on credit cards. And I just wanted to give you some options because no one's going to loan you money, okay? No one will loan you money. A shark will loan you money with that equity, hoping to get you out of your house. And I'm hoping you're primed to be ripped off right now. And I hear you laughing. I know. I understand. I don't mean.
No, you're absolutely right.
I don't want to be insulting to you. I want to talk to Gigi Wink. Gigi, if this man is 75 or 74, he owes let's say he has 175 in equity in the house, 2 acres in Elizabeth. He owes $38,000 in credit card debt, but he just can't afford his life right now. Not really. Can he do, we've talked about reverse loans a lot. He's not eligible because of his loan to value ratio, I don't think, but would he be something for Chapter 13 because he has too much equity?
Yeah. Now in 13 though, he'd be in 100% plan. He'd be paying back all of the $38,000, and that's because he has about $70,000 of unprotected equity because you get to protect 105 when you're over 60. So the amount left over is more than what he owes. So he'd have to pay it all back.
That's if his house.
Years.
Hold on. That's
but how
if
many
his house,
years?
That's if his house is really worth that.
That's right.
We're just, Mike. Are you sure your house would be worth $575?
According to Zillow.
Oh, yeah, that's low even. Okay.
Yeah,
Zillow.
So Gigi, how would it help him? Would it write down those credit card debt?
Yeah.
You get rid of all that high interest.
Yeah, and it locks the balances in, and interest stops accruing. So you come out in 5 years. The problem is, I don't think he has the income to make that feasible.
$60,000 a year.
He makes $55,000 a year.
I mean, we can look at it, but
Go ahead, Mike.
This sound? Oh,
Mike, go ahead. What?
No, how does this sound? Okay, let's say, for example, the property goes for $600,000. Okay, and the mortgage is at $410. Let's make it $4.
Whatever.
Make it easy. So, Okay, so the difference is $200,000.
Right.
So if I take that $200,000, credit cards, pay them off.
Right. Well, that's what I recommended. Yeah, but you're not going to come
in for about half.
Auto loan, pay it off, and that'll leave me with, I think, about let's say $100,000. So that less whatever the real estate.
No. I think you could get a clean $100,000 because I think your
But then
200
what?
was exaggerated. But
You
then
have
what?
no house.
Now you got to take $100,000 and put it to work wisely, and really. But anyway, what you should do though. And she talked about debt settlement. You could probably settle some of that debt as well. And that was Gigi Wink. And by the way, if you ever want to talk to Wink and Wink, Gigi, it's 303-410-1720. And Gigi, thank you for that, because she said the interest stops, that you can pay that down quicker. But you may not be a candidate for that if you don't have the income. But you should talk to them for options. Now, Mike, on the rest of your options, Mark will be happy to talk to you about it. I say Mark because I have to step out early, but I want you to hang on. Also, we have Bradley O'Brien with us. And I have to tell you, some guy called me and he didn't believe me about Water Pros and putting a softening system in his house because he had just got quoted from, hey, so-and-so man, for like $6,000. Okay? I'm going to tell you something. Water Pros did the entire system for under $2,000, and he's thrilled to death. I'm getting these calls all the time. It's impossible to believe, but these whole house systems are under $2,000, whether filtration or conditioning. Waterpros.net. We got more coming right up.
I got that quote right there. New COVID patients tend to be unvaccinated.
Of course.
Well, no fucking shit. They better be.
I got my vaccination.
That's the dumbest quote I've ever seen.
It's a Delta variant that they're getting. Yeah, because of that.
I don't care what they're getting. They're saying they tend to be unvaccinated.
Thanks for coming in.
99%.
I mean, it's fun. And listen, we always get real estate. That's what I love. We always get
the
real
Delta
estate.
variant is not jumping over to vaccinated people.
It's not. The not just vaccinated people that fucking,
United States will be at better
natural immunity. Natural immunity is better than the fucking
I will see you next time.
Yeah,
It's the same
your
thing,
shit's all fucking weird.
It's the same thing, Mark.
I wanted to,
No, Vax is better.
Your fucking face wasn't.
I want to do things like real estate. When we come on with a real estate question,
Pfizer.
I want to have the questions that you really want and the ones you don't.
All right, approval reverse mortgage. You know, Joan Sullivan is the owner. And what I really like about Joan Sullivan, not only does she sell the product, reverse mortgages, and we were just talking about them with that last caller, but on top of that, on top of just selling them, she's actually her own client. She actually utilizes her own product. Joan Sullivan has a reverse mortgage, and I kind of love that about her. Here's what I really want you to do. You ever have any questions on a reverse mortgage, you call her up, and she will be brutally honest with you, tell you whether or not it's right for you, what to expect, just lay out the entire plan. ApprovalReverse.com is a website. ApprovalReverse.com. I need K&H's number. All right, let me tell you about Ted. He's the owner of K&H Construction. These guys are great. They do siding. They do windows. They even do roofing, honestly. They do a ton of different things. But really what they're known for is that siding and the entryway doors. They've just got beautiful products. And what's really cool about K&H and Ted, I'm going to go back and date myself a little bit. Probably 25 years ago, when I was in the computer business, I was selling K&H and Ted. I was actually selling them computers back then. But they were around even way before that. So when people talk about lifetime warranties on their siding or entry doors, or especially their windows, guess what? These guys mean it because they're still going to be around. Any Joe Schmo can sell you a lifetime warranty. If he's out of business, guess what? There goes your lifetime warranty. K&H, they've been around forever. Their products are amazing. Please, 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 at least put them in a quote if you're looking for entry doors, windows, siding, and if you need a roof. 303-421-7100. K&H, 303-421-7100.
Here, I need that paper.
Jeez Louise, he did it again. I don't even know why he kept us up. He didn't even put the commercials up. Oh, Lord.
Great handover.
Yeah. I don't even have the call screener up, so who's on? Who do I have?
Who I got?
Is it the same guy?
The second here. Yeah, same guy. On one.
Now that Tom's gone, I want to say something about Tom.
Well, just remember, we're always on.
No, I was listening to the Kim Commando show, which is a syndicated...
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, so she had two guys go to some woman's house and do something. She said she's the only talk show in the nation that does random acts of kindness. And I want to say on the air that Tom has done more random acts of kindness over 40 years than anybody else on radio.
Well, now, wait a minute, though. Random, if she's saying that she literally just shows up, no call, nothing, that would be a random act of kindness.
She meant sending people out to help.
That's what I mean, but do they ask for help?
She said, we'll send somebody, they call up, and this woman couldn't do something. She said, we'll send out two computer experts out there.
Okay.
So
I don't know why she'd call that random.
Hey, you can bring Elitch's up. Because that's the whole thing, this big thing, do random acts of kindness. You know?
But she meant just doing acts of kindness without charging people for it. And Tom has done more over the past 40 years than Kim Commando has done in her life. Well, the show has. We all have.
Who's this? Tom. I do it 3 times. Who is that? Kruger.
Aren't you the one that botched the Statue of Liberty job?
It's not for oh, yeah. Everything they do is
not for just a little knob.
Not that you have somebody in as a guest.
Lately, it's been every day. Since the post-COVID thing.
Hey, so bring up that Helix as I give it up there.
And what's interesting is that everybody, except professionals like you, can't find help. All the people are doing, the services, the HVAC, the electric, the housing, everybody. They can't get help. It's amazing.
I'm always chasing down signatures. I go through pens and shoes like chewing
And I see these guys standing on the street. They look like young, healthy guys with signs. And there's right across the street is McDonald's, and says now hiring.
Duck, 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 goose.
So do you have other attorneys working for you, Brad, or is it just
No, I don't. It's just me.
There's something to be said about that.
Michael Brown.
Well, the other
I
one
was
is
in practice by myself, but I love it. I made my own rules. I didn't have to ask anybody. I wanted to give the girls a raise. I gave them a raise.
All right, guys.
All right, 303-713-8255. I feel like we're playing musical chairs. All of a sudden, I'm sitting here again. Anyhow, here's the deal. I want to go back to Mike in a second, but this hour brought to you by SavingOnFees.com. You want the best credit card processor? Well, you'll get it right there. The absolute best rates. Zero contract, meaning, well, of course you have a contract with us. And when I say us, Tom and I own the merchant company. So here's the bottom line. Free equipment and no long-term commitments. That's it. No long-term. We're not asking you to sign a contract. If we can't deliver the best rates, which we can, and we can't give you free equipment, which we can, then you can get out at any time. SavingOnFees.com. troubleshooter.com, and I don't care what size business you are. We have companies out there that are doing, millions upon millions of dollars a month using our service. This isn't for just, ma-and-pa businesses, if you will. It's for every size out there. Hey, Mike, I do want to ask you something. I feel like you were trying to get something across. You just want to get out of the house you're in right now, right?
Yes, sir.
And then if you can
pay off the credit cards and the story.
Yeah, so I think I know someone you can talk to that can actually crunch the numbers. What is your credit score, though? Because that could be a big part of it. I understand you have a lot of credit card debt, $38,000 or whatever you said, but have you at least been paying it on time?
Very definitely. Let's see, the credit score.
Yeah, roughly.
6. The last time I heard from Guy Thomas down in the Springs, who cares?
Yeah.
672.
Man, that could be a little. I mean, I think that 660 is qualifying, but man, on top of the debt you have, and then I don't know, but I do have someone, Suzanne. I'm thinking of Plum Creek, Vince. Let's see, Vince can do some amazing things. So hold on, Mike. I'm going to give you a phone number, and we're going to prep them of kind of what's going on, and let's just see if it's even possible, man, all right?
Okay, Mark,
yes.
One other thing you guys advertise that real estate guy, what's his name, something.
Oh, when you go to sell it, I'll make a call to Frank for you. When you go to sell it, you definitely want to use Frank. I have no doubt about that, but I'm going to have to make a call to him. And kind of pull in a favor because you are kind of far away, but he will go out there. I just need to talk to him about it. But he'll get you more for that house than any other realtor. I'm confident of that. But that's just your first problem. Selling it isn't going to be that hard, especially if you use Frank. It's going to be, I just don't want you to sell it, waste the money you have left over, and you have no place to live. Thank God. You know what? We gave you a lot of crap over getting yourself into debt, but I have to say this. You did something right because you've got, what'd you say, $5-6 grand a month in income coming in forever, I assume, right?
Yes, sir, for working for the federal government.
Excellent, man. So, I mean, you've got a nice pension coming in, so that's good and secure. And if we help you get out of this, we just don't want you in this again. So hold tight. Let's get him Vince's number. If Vince has any questions, he can call me, and I'll probably text him later. Hey, Dan, you talked to Elitch's. We had a caller call up.
Right.
They had kids that were under 16 years of age, I assume. And they had the, what do you call them?
Season pass.
Season pass, and Elitch's recently changed their policy to where if you're under 16, and tell me if I have this wrong, if you're under 16, you have to be with an adult, period.
All the time.
But if you're 16 to 8 or 16 or 17, then at 3 o'clock you have to have an adult.
That's right.
Well, that sucks.
That's right. So anyway, so I called up the Elitch's there, and they said, go ahead, send your information to info@elitchgardens.com.
Did you ask them about refunds?
And yes, I did. And she said they're taking it on a case-by-case, first-come, first-served basis.
And I would think what they mean by that, and I don't know this for a fact, but I would think if it's going to affect you, in other words, if you have a season pass and you're 22 years old, this isn't going to affect you. You're not going to get a refund.
Right.
So I don't know. Hopefully they're taking it very logical. Bradley O'Brien Legal Services, first time you've been in for the show. What do you think behind the scenes? I mean, you're sitting here. What do you make of it? What did you think? Is it what you thought it would be?
Yeah, I've had a great time, and I love getting questions and just responding off the cuff from my 15 years plus of a real estate law experience.
We have some attorneys that come in. I'm not going to say who because they listen a lot, but their go-to answer is, it depends. So it doesn't really matter what the question is. And I am sure for an attorney, technically, that is a damn good answer because, in reality, of course it depends.
No names, but it rhymes with narco.
No. Marco's a bulldog, man. Marco's a bulldog. Okay, anyhow, folks, listen, 303-MARTINO, help@troubleshooter.com. We're going to be back here tomorrow fighting crime and doing what we do best. That's it. Everybody hang tight. We'll see you tomorrow. My name's Mark Major, and this is the Troubleshooter Network.
Follow Tom Martino at